any second now. I'm sure there it is. That only took like 30 seconds to
I will
go.
cease the gamer words.
Why? I
Oh,
mean, yeah, do that.
okay, cool.
Hey chat, what's going on? Hello, there's already people in there. That's hello, hi.
Hello.
I have very good intros. It's a German. Yes. Hi. Hello. What's going on? What's going on? I'm gonna open my Dr. Pepper right here. There you go. I wasn't late. I was spot on. I was spot on.
I was almost late.
Oh, we got a little stretch here. Man. I mean, what's going on? I could just talk about brand. I mean, this is all gonna be random stuff. So there you go. Talk about Callisto in 2 hours and 30 minutes from now, and I'll be available to talk about it too.
Oh boy.
You don't get to choose, James.
I I beat Dead Space 2 yesterday for the first time, right before the Game Awards started, and
Oh,
I can't functionally describe to you how much better a game that is than the Callisto Protocol. It's like there's not words that will adequately convey my thoughts.
man.
I do not like the Callisto Protocol, in case anyone was wondering. It was very bad. It was also the first standard edition of a video game ever, which I was forced to pay 93.49 on, which is delightful. That's not even ending with a like a 9.99. So
Shame.
yeah, the $70 16. Sorry, Siri thought I was talking to her. But the US dollar price increase to $70 made games $90 for us. And now for some reason they've decided that we need another $3.49 tagged onto that. And the first
Just
time
to
I had to
mess
pay
with
that
you.
it was for one of the worst games I've played in years. So
Oh
amazing.
boy.
Or at least relative to how good I thought it was going to be. Like I'm sure I've played some Steam demos that were not fantastic, but
I deserve the right to talk about it. I suffered for you, fucker. Listen, you
yeah.
did that to yourself. I didn't ask you to do any of this.
I can talk to you about it, James Moore. I feel your pain.
Just like yelling. I hated it so
I
much.
really don't know what they were thinking with the dodge system in that game. It's like you have to be holding a direction, like a left or right, one of those two directions. It doesn't matter which one, and you
Mm,
just have to be holding it before the strike, not
okay.
at the time of the strike. Like just if you're holding a direction before a strike, you will automatically dodge, and the only skill involved is you then have to switch to the other direction to dodge again if you want to dodge again. That's it.
Okay.
No timing, nothing to do with which attack is coming from which direction, not really anything to do with your positioning. Just no, you're playing Punch Out while you're fighting one enemy, and then other enemies will just kill you from behind. And
Because you can't do
it's not
shit
a
about
very
it.
difficult game from like a challenge standpoint, or like I really need to think my way around here. It's like, no, I need to back myself into a corner so they can't get behind me, and then
I
just
see.
stand in place and use telekinesis to chuck them into spinning blades and things. Like that is seriously, you can get through most of the game like that.
That sounds great. Oh god. Yes, you can time it, but there's no reason to.
Well, I mean, because all it does, if you get the perfect dodge, the only thing it does is it slows down time. It puts you in bullet time for like a second or two.
Oh.
Hold on one second.
Oh, the wife is calling. Chat, we lost him.
No, sorry. My wife was trying to tell me about something.
So
Um,
good, so good.
One moment.
It's all good. Simp. Hey, Chad, what's up? We have some private time now. How you doing? What's going on? Metal got X-Ray Girl on his show. Yeah, I got all kinds of people. I'm just I'm that popular.
All right, yeah. Sorry about that. That was a question needed to be answered regarding the dogs who are God, they're kind of becoming a bit of a thorn in my YouTube career side. Puppies.
uh,
But yeah, good to go now though.
Oh, it's all
Either
good.
way,
It's all
Callisto
good.
Protocol puts you in slow motion when you do a perfect dodge for like a second or two, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
get a damage boost or anything. It's just like, oh, look, you earned a cinematic camera movement for a second. It's like, oh, okay. God of
Okay.
War gives us those for free.
Yeah, they do. They do. It does. It does for sure. Uh, what happened with Bill Clinton at the VGA? I only heard some random kid got on stage that's not part of the dev team and
He
even
was
got
he
on the
was
microphone or something. I don't know.
he was up there for the entire acceptance speech of Hidetaka Miyazaki and his translator, and then afterwards he said a delightful collection of words. Really, he walked up to the mic and said, "I would like to dedicate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton." And I was like,
What?
"Wait, how did like,
I don't even know what that
no?"
means.
Exactly. And I was just like, wait, well, hold on. That's actually confusing enough to be perfect as a troll. Like it's like, wait, because the Bill Clinton thing is what tells you that this isn't just a Jewish kid who like, went up there and was like, yeah, no, my rabbi is like very
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
I wanted to tell the world. It's like, no, no, no. This is a guy who knows what he's doing. He's trolling. But man, your brain starts trying to process how those words connect, and it's just
I mean,
you just keep on getting
I
the,
would
the
need
Windows error
to do some
sound.
research on everything. Like this is gonna take time for me to process.
Yeah, because apparently he is
Process.
not only Orthodox, he's a Reformed Orthodox,
Oh my.
and not only a Jewish man. When Bill Clinton is, I'm pretty sure, Christian. Um, yeah, it's a rabbi, a cleric at
He
that.
got arrested apparently. Wait, why?
Oh, I guess they arrested him for I don't know. What can you even arrest that
Yeah,
kid
I don't know
for?
what you get arrested for. I mean, you can probably
Like
get.
unless he broke into the theater, like if he
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be there at all. But I mean, realistically, it's like, well, it's not like anyone stopped me from getting up on stage.
I mean, I would have guessed he would have been ejected from the place, right? But I don't know
Yeah,
why he would be arrested.
I mean,
For
realistically, if
storming the
someone walks
stage?
up on,
Is that something you can do?
I mean, storming it is
I mean, he
a
was kind of
that's a
standing
that's
there
a
as far as I
harsh
can.
word for what he did. He followed the people who won up onto the stage as if he was one of them, and no one said anything.
Hey,
I
who's
mean,
the new guy? It's like, I don't
if
know.
anything, it's the fault of the producers of the show for not being like, who the fuck's the white kid with the Japanese man up there accepting the award? Can you get someone to get him out of there? Like, what the hell? Was he sitting with the From Software people? Like, did anyone see where that kid came from?
Yeah, that's
But
funny.
no, he wasn't. He like walked from like the back of the theater and just he timed it like a boss and just walked up with confidence.
Yeah, probably
And
trespassing.
Chef Wars 56, you'd think trespassing, but I mean, if he had a ticket to the show, he's not actually trespassing. Like it's
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get like jail time, whatever. Someone said in chat. Just be like, bad you, and he's like, Bill Clinton, and then he's like, okay, you're going to the mental ward. Um, but yeah, hey, Game Awards. I got the list here of the things that happened. Because let's quickly go through these. Obviously, the big battle was between Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok between Game of the Year. Elden Ring ended up getting the W here, which I mean, I get Elden Ring has been out for much longer, so I feel like if God of War would have been out for longer than 3 weeks or something, what it is now, might have had a better chance to get Game of the Year. But yeah, I mean, it was always between Elden Ring and God of War, really.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
I mean,
anyone.
that's if it didn't split the vote. Like
Yeah.
that's always it could have the Saving Private Ryan, Life is Beautiful thing happen to it. Puppies, weird dog. The
Yeah.
Chihuahua is just cleaning the poodle.
Also, maybe just for context, we also had on the list a Plague Tale Requiem, obviously Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, which nobody really cared about because it came out with Elden Ring, right?
Yeah. Same thing
Stray.
that happened to the first one with Breath of the Wild.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it came out like a week before Breath of the Wild and the Switch launched, and yeah, it kind of ate Horizon's lunch from a PR cycle standpoint.
Yeah, Stray was up for Game of the Year, which actually kind of surprised me. I didn't hear that much about the game. I think
Most of what I heard about it is that it's boring, it's over really fast, but the cat's very cute and it's pretty. Like,
Yeah, I think
I
Mutually
don't know if
actually
that's Game of the
streamed
Year
that
town for me.
game. Actually, would need to ask him. I think he's
okay,
the only
yeah.
one I know who actually played that game. So I don't know. Uh,
A coworker of mine played it, and his only real criticism was the cats are pretty cute, man. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know if that's a reason why I'll buy it for full price, but maybe if it's on a good Steam sale someday.
oh, Model streamed 2 hours of Stray and stopped. Oh, I thought he did more on those when I was asleep or something. Well, never mind then.
Oh, okay.
And we also have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I've never played a Xenoblade game in my life, so I don't
I
even know.
played I played most of the first one and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I just got kind of thrown off with other projects and now I kind of forget what's going on in the
Yeah.
story. So I'd probably have to restart it and it's like a 150-hour game. So it's a rough one to take that first step to start again. But once I started playing it the first time, I was pretty hooked from like 2 hours in maybe. But
Yeah.
lots of interesting voice acting because it's like it's a it's a JRPG and it looks
Yeah.
very anime-ish, especially the new version that's on Switch that they
Mm.
kind of animate up a little bit more. And I think it's that the union that they hired for the voice acting was in England, so it's all like British voice actors. So they look like Japanese characters, but they don't sound like traditional kind of American dub anime characters. They all sound like Brits, and it's
Okay.
kind of an interesting tone that
Hmm.
sets or like style. But good
Interesting.
story though, and great kind of a hybrid turn-based slash is turn-based combat with real-time positioning.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. I see. So yeah, we got Game of the Year, Elden Ring. That's maybe is recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So there you go. Elden Ring
I
has Game of the Year here. Yeah,
wait,
go
do
ahead.
they actually have descriptions for their categories? Like this is
Well,
just
there's short. I only have the IGN article open because it has a nice
oh,
list of
okay.
all of the things, and that's what it says in like
Got it.
just
Because
right
I was
below
just
it.
wondering because it seems like some of the category names here were just like, what are you guys even doing? Like
Yeah.
Sifu being nominated for fighting game was just like, wait, do you guys know what a fighting game is? Like, I mean, like Sifu is a game that has fighting in it, but I mean to say that God of War is an action game, but Sifu is a fighting game when ultimately they're both games in which you progress through areas fighting people. It's like, well, I
Yeah.
mean, for that definition, are they both fighting games? I guess it's like, well, there's kung fu and Sifu, I guess. So I don't know.
Right, then we have Best Game Direction, award of outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. That's also Elden Ring. Uh, I read the description and I'm still not entirely sure
Yeah.
what it is, but there you
Well, and
go.
this is I was streaming it with Lofty Pixels last night,
Oh,
and
okay.
we were having kind of like the same because like I was like I don't even know what my pick for this one is because
Yeah, I have no
if it's
clue.
game director like the way the game is structured and how like the gameplay systems, what the flexibility of things like the builds and like I would probably give it to Miyazaki for Elden Ring, but if it's like oh
Mm.
no they're talking about the story and the narrative, I'd be like okay well then Eric Williams for God of War because like,
Well,
like
best
my pick
narrative
is
is its own thing. That's next on the
oh
list.
I know, but
Yeah.
when you hear game director,
Oh,
I'm like, are
okay.
you talking about
Gotcha.
the person who directed the cutscenes, like directed the actors during the cutscenes? Because that's a director, and I mean that's like what, for example, Neil Druckmann did on Last of Us Part Two, that won like everything. Actually that was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh man, time flies. But but yeah, but whereas like I'm not sure that like I don't know does the director the guy who directs the motion cap actors in the
Yeah.
cinematic also like design the gameplay systems and decide like I don't know what kind of gear system are we gonna have in there? Are we gonna have any? Are we gonna make this
Mm.
totally linear? Are we gonna make it open world? Are we gonna have tons of bosses? Are we gonna repeat any bosses? Like I mean all those things to me are like game direction choices that have nothing at all to do with the story or cinematics. And I
Yeah.
think part of like honestly like my biggest problem with a bunch of these awards was I'm just like I don't know what exactly they're rewarding here. So, I
Yeah.
understand that it's
Yeah.
like they say a sentence like here's this category and then they say the names of 5 games and are probably banking on a whole bunch of the people in the audience just having their favorite based on what
Yeah.
they've bought or what
Yay!
they've
I like
played and
this
then
game.
just sharing. Yeah.
Clap.
I vote
uh,
for one that I played.
yeah. Hooray! Yeah. Also, God of War Ragnarok in there. Horizon Forbidden West again. Immortality. I don't even know that game. And Stray again. There you go. Best narrative. That, of course, God of War Ragnarok won that. I would have been very
Yeah,
upset if
yeah.
not. I don't even.
But like I mean, honestly, Elden Ring is my game of the year personally, and I would have been pissed if Elden Ring beat God of War. I'd be like, wait,
Yeah,
hold on. I was like, I like Elden Ring, and I think the lore is actually really cool,
yeah,
but
but in terms of
narrative.
storytelling, because yeah, for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, it's like Elden Ring. It's like I don't even. It's weird because I don't know if I would even put that in here at
I
all.
mean,
It's kind of odd.
like the Soulsborne series, and like I mean, to an extent, Sekiro. Though Sekiro has a bit more of a traditional narrative story, like cinematic story built into it. But that I think that you can only award, say, Dark Souls or Demon Souls game,
Mm,
or sorry, best narrative based on the novelty of its format. You know what I mean? So like the Elden Ring isn't the first FromSoft game to do storytelling the way that it did,
yeah.
where it isn't out front. And I like from again, like I'm bringing it back to like game design and game direction. I do kind of like the concept of having a narrative, oh sorry, a gameplay focused game in which there is a narrative that has a lot of care into it, but it's really not like you can ignore it if you just are here for the gameplay
Yeah,
and like
yeah, yeah.
you're not like forced to sit through cinematic. I'm pretty sure you can skip boss intro cinematics immediately. Like I don't think you need to see them once first or anything. I think Miyazaki
Hmm.
understands like some of these people do not give a shit about our
Yeah.
cinematic
I'm
introduction.
I'm one of these people. It's like I'm here for the gameplay. I'm gonna try to kind of understand and never do what's going on. And it's
Mhm.
like I'm just gonna wait for the next Vati video
Yeah, and I
who
mean
gets me
honestly,
all
like
that
in the
information from because they have like their own bubble almost, like all the lore hunters and everything, and then they all put their work together or whatnot. And it's like I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think that is its own kind of awesome, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sort of hope that From keeps doing that with that style, with maybe a little bit of movement out of it. Like I thought that they did that quite well with Sekiro, because Sekiro has a bunch of that background lore and multiple endings that are really esoteric ways in which you unlock the
Mm,
different paths that you can get the endings with. And so it would realistically require a lot of multiple playthroughs, require a lot of reading item descriptions to piece together the lore and what exactly is going on. But at the same time, you also have a boy who's immortal and who has blood that can grant immortality, who is being basically pursued by an old, I guess, it won't be the word for it. Maybe I don't know if you call him an emperor, maybe a shogun or something like that, like Genichiro's father, the last
mm,
boss of the game. If you played Sekiro, anyone out there, but and then Sekiro being his protector, who tried to help the kid, got killed by like the main bad guy's son, and turns out he wasn't dead. He just got his arm cut off, and he's given this ability to resurrect. And there's
yeah.
stuff there that is like directly involving the characters who you play as and who you
Yeah,
interact.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas Elden Ring and even Dark Souls to extent, like most of the characters who you even interact with in the game are like, oh yeah, I'm just a person who's in this world, and I know all about like Gwyn and
Mm.
the dragons and all that stuff. But I mean, it's not like I'm not like the guy. Whereas like all the people you talk to in Sekiro are pretty important to the story. But yeah, so I guess like this is all a really roundabout way of saying I think that God of War very clearly tells a much stronger,
Yeah.
more more well thought out story that involves very little work on behalf of the player to experience at least a solid version of it. Where
Ye-
even to I mean, take for example our Elden Ring EFAP episode, like from the beginning of the year. None of us, all of us had beaten the game pretty much, and none of us really knew what was going on at that
Oh
point.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's sort of like, oh no, I do need to play this game a few times and maybe watch a video or two or read some like
Mm.
character wikis on like Fextra Life or something like that. And then what's kind of an interesting thing is like once those pieces of lore start floating around, you see them more clearly, and it's like, oh, now I can kind of take a step back and look at those pieces, and they make a real puzzle when you put them together there. Whereas
Hmm.
I don't I
Also, it
don't
made a
know that
German cry, which is also an award by itself. True. It's
well, I
true.
mean, like yeah, God of War in particular is quite the emotional game. As much as as much as again I was very enthralled with most of the like honestly for the first 6 months of this year I effectively played nothing but Elden Ring like once it came out, and I don't think I was ever like emotionally moved at any point other than just being really happy that I finally beat Millennia without having to
He
use
was like,
four
yeah,
frost on.
fuck you! I fucking beat you!
It's like boom, I'm not. I didn't only win because of the Hoarfrost song. I mean, I did the first time, but I've proven that I can also beat you with the Rivers of Blood. Turns out that's really cheap too. Okay, fine. I just went for it and did it with double great swords. Okay, I don't use a single weapon art. It's on my channel.
Nice, nice.
Took some time though.
Good stuff. Well, what else do we have here? Best art direction, also Elden Ring. There it says for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Oh, okay, I guess. I don't know. Ragnarok basically looks like the old one, but better.
I guess so, yeah.
As I don't know.
I could still see an argument for Ragnarok. Just when you look at places like Vanaheim and stuff.
I mean, yeah, it looks amazing. Like
And
all the places look
Svartalfheim,
really
too.
cool. I mean, if you just look
And
around, I just took a lot of screenshots to use as thumbnails as well.
Mhm.
Like it's a beautiful looking game.
And they don't. It looks significantly different than the first game too. I think that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing there. Like you did go to a couple different realms, but I found that in Ragnarok over 2018 or Data Boy, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, God of War 4. It's weird
Mm.
that the only way to refer to that game is anything other than what its actual title is, which
Yeah,
is
it's
the same
kind of
title as the first game.
yeah.
It's like God of War. It's like wait, the franchise or the game from PS2 or the new one. But yeah, I think that there was each realm kind of had its own look that it sort of stuck to the entire time you were there. Where it seemed like in this one there within the realms there was kind of more going on visually as far as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it seems like they spent a bit more time on the art and or like they spent more time on the art than just being like, okay, well, we go back to Elfheim here, so let's just, where's the Elfheim textures? Okay, let's get them.
Hmm.
It's like they did actually make new stuff. Like the desert in Elfheim, I thought was really cool. I didn't see that coming at all. I was like, oh man, riding around on cats on a sled. This is awesome.
Nice, yeah, yeah. Then best score, music, God of War Ragnarok, Bear McCreary, very, very deserved, of course.
This is the one that people say Xenoblade got snubbed for. Which I haven't played Xenoblade 3, so I don't know about the music, but I
Xenoblade
know
is
that.
not even on that list here, so I don't even know. I mean,
Oh, really?
Yasunori Mitsuda, that doesn't have a game next to it, so I think they just forgot to put the game there, so it's probably
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
Xenoblade.
probably Xenoblade 3. And Metal Hellsinger did get nominated, Kate. Yeah, it was a
Yeah, it
Search
did.
Tank and you've did the music for that one. I haven't played it yet though, so I should get around to that. You know what it is? I played a game called BPM that was the same concept, and I ended up really not liking it. So
Oh.
I've been kind of just down on Metal Hellsinger since. But I do like System of a Down, so I might end up really liking that game.
System of a Down is really good, so I second that. Yeah, thanks for becoming a member for 2 months, Cernier. I have to read them now because the fucking messages just disappear in the ether if I don't read them now. It's
Yeah,
really
go for
weird.
it.
Yeah, the member things, I don't know. They don't put it in the super chat tab, which is kind of weird. They just, I don't know, put it nowhere. You have to look in the stream.
You look up your members on YouTube and then figure out who's new.
Yeah, well, this is like a
Oh yeah,
continuation.
it's
It
got a
says member
it's
for
got
two
a
months.
chat. Yeah, it says a chat connected
And for
to
some
it.
reason,
Really? They don't put those with the super chats?
it's not in the list with the super chats, and I don't know why. They just should have put there. You have to scroll back through the stream and find them if you want to read them out. It's really dumb.
I gotta be better about my membership stuff. I've got like 3 members. I don't have a lot because right when I put memberships live on YouTube, I got offered a contract with Rumble, and I've been streaming over there, and will be till the end of February. But Hyperbolic Ninja, I saw you in there. I might bounce back and forth between them in March, but yeah, I'll be back on YouTube more often in March.
Noise. Hello, Wootle. How you and Mark doing? I'm doing good. Thank you, Jake.
I'm okay.
Doing
Done working.
Gucci.
It's a Friday.
I got to derail the stream with this nonsense. Hey, thanks Ninja for the 2 months as well. Let's see here. Yeah, Ben McCrary. I mean, I listened to the soundtrack today again. It's the first ever soundtrack where I actually actively just go through my days like, I want to listen to the soundtrack now. It's weird. I really like video game soundtracks, but I never really listen to them on the side. But this one is just like, I wanna listen to that. There's some good shit in there.
I could seriously have like a loop of Phase theme playing in the background and just fall asleep to it. Oh, which I should probably contextualize that joke that I made the other day about my wife falling asleep to Molly's voice.
No, don't. It's
No,
it's way funnier that way.
I think it actually almost funnier is when you know the truth because it's true. Like that actually is. Oh, and that's her screaming.
Yeah, listening to
While
Mahler
on
again.
a show with is Mahler on FNT right now? Jesus.
Is he? I don't
Well,
know.
what
I don't think so.
I don't know what she gets up to when she's awake with him. She's trying to fall asleep. She just enjoys his bassy Welsh voice. And,
Yeah.
it helps her fall asleep.
I'm
And
gonna
I think she knows.
I'm gonna steal the
She knew
voice when
everything there
I'm.
was to know about the Black Widow film before she watched it, and watched it
Mhm.
last week and was like, "Huh, I think it's a bit better than Mueller says, but yeah, it's kind of bad."
Moodily excited for the next Dark Pictures game? No, but we're gonna be playing it when I'm over at Mutui's place. It's gonna be great.
I heard the Iraq one was pretty good, like where it's like the military guys, but I didn't play it, so I can't.
Oh,
say
we played them on Halloween or in October every time when they came out.
Oh, did you play that one? It's like I think that it's like some soldiers and
Yeah, it's trash.
Oh, it is.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, there's barely any gameplay in that.
Did you like
But
what was
there's a
the first
Salim guy in there
one?
who's
Still
a
on.
mega Chad. He's pretty cool.
His name.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, in the game you mean? Never mind.
Yeah.
But did you play Until Dawn, their first game that was like that, like the one they did for PlayStation?
No, I haven't played that. Mauler played it with another friend back in the day when that came out, all the way through in one sitting. It was a really funny game. It was a really funny game to look at.
It is funny. It's like a slasher film,
Yeah,
more or
yeah.
less. And I thought actually what was really funny is I was actively trying to have one of the girls died because I really didn't like her
They did the
personality,
same, and they just didn't want to die.
it's
It was
your
basically
gamer instinct kicks in, and you're like, no, I'm not like I'm not just gonna do nothing here. Like I'm gonna tap the button when it tells me to tap the button.
they're trying to do the choices that seem the most stupid, and then when sometimes the choices that get you safe. It's really weird. It's really weird. But yeah, then best audio design, also God of War, very nice. Best performance, Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Fuck
And,
yeah.
people were kind of memeing on his speech, and I found it pretty moving, to be honest. I
I
was like, wow.
only,
I was like,
I mean, I haven't
this is like
seen
one of
it.
the best award acceptance speeches I've listened to in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, he seems to really care.
Oh yeah, he super loves the character and everything. I only saw his swagger outfit. That was pretty sick. His golden jacket.
It's a full-blown gold suit.
Crimbo Judge speech was amazing. I like Crimbo Judge. If I would be friends with him, I would try to give him the nickname Crimbo. I think that's hilarious.
I can just imagine someone was like, "Hey, you should probably go tell him to wrap up the speech and get off the stage." And then the guy looks over and it's Kratos, and he's like, "You go do it."
You go do it.
I was like, if he says I'm not finished, boy, to me, I'm gonna run away crying. So I should probably not be the one to do it.
Yeah. Let's see. Games for Impact? What's that? A thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I don't know any of those games in this list.
Yeah, no, there was not a single one on that list that I recognized.
I mean, I'll read them out for chat. We got a Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, which is the winner. Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, there you go. I don't know any of those games.
Here's your game for Impact. Vampire
Yeah.
Survivors is like $3. That is the best thing to happen to the poor. You can play that game forever. It's stupidly fun for a game that you really just need to basically just play around on an analog stick with. It's a game where you only control your player position and it attacks automatically for you, and somehow it's super compelling and deep at the same time.
Wait, which game was that?
Vampire Survivors.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very good. In fact, it's so inexpensive, I will gift it to you on Steam.
Might be a game I already have with like over 1,000 games from all the fucking bundles I bought over the years.
I think it was nominated for best indie game, and it
Yeah.
lost to Stray. And that's like I was like, that tells you everything that is wrong with modern gaming criticism or like
Let's see.
accolading, you could say,
Steam. Because
because you
Vampire
have.
Survivor sounds familiar. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it was a huge game, and like I said, it was nominated for best indie game, and it lost to Stray. And then I'm just like, okay, so Stray is a game that I've heard nothing but bad things about the gameplay for, really, or nothing but at least neutral to mediocre things. It's like, I don't know, you walk around the city, it's fine, but it's really pretty and the cats are cute. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors is like $3. It is made up of what are effectively acid flipped Castlevania sprites, just like tweaked a
Yeah.
little bit. And it's really, it was a project that I think it was a computer programming student just basically wrote this game to see if he could make something that he could use to just add mechanics to over time. So
Oh,
like
that's
just
neat.
adding different types of weapons.
Oh, it's on Game
And the
Pass.
idea, oh,
Uh,
it's on
yeah, I have it
Vampire
on Game
Survivors
Pass.
being on. That is almost a joke.
Yeah.
Like putting Vampire Survivors being on Game Pass. Like, hey, you got to play Vampire Survivors for your subscription. Be like, wait, how many hours do I have to put into this on Game Pass before I just wasted the Game Pass money? It's like this game is $3, guys. It's
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's a really good game though, and basically it's like a horde game, like where you just constantly have enemies coming at you. The enemies get stronger. The game times are, depending on the mode you play, either 15 or 30 minutes, and that's it. So
Yeah.
you can't extend a session past 30 minutes. If you hit 30 minutes, congratulations, you won and you are automatically killed. Every enemy you kill, or not every enemy, most enemies you kill give you these little blue experience orbs. And every level up you get to pick either a new weapon or an upgrade to a weapon that you currently have. And
Ah,
by
okay,
the
yeah.
end of a run, you are just like causing, if you're still alive by 20 minutes, you're killing everything on the screen constantly.
Oh, okay.
And it goes from being super boring and unassuming in the first like minute to like but like mind-blowing assault to the senses for like the last three. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It's a hard game to hate. Might not be an easy game to totally love, but it would be difficult to play an entire run of that game that you're successful in and be like, this game's just okay. You get to that at the end of that run and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the stuff right there.
Yeah.
Let's go again. Do I have another half an hour?
Just okay, quickly, just
Well,
a
I
little
got
quick
50
game.
minutes, but whatever, I might
Yeah.
die.
So just use the time while you were talking there. So I just put the window with the pics on screen. Let's
Cool.
see what else. Best ongoing game, which I guess is probably all MOBAs and stuff. Yeah, so we got awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Apex Legends on there, Destiny 2.
I think Final Fantasy 14 won
Yes, it did.
in the year I started playing it too.
Ah, Fortnite and Genshin Impact. Yeah, so it's Final Fantasy 14 is going on. Yeah, they seem to do like a lot content wise. They put out shit constantly, from what I can tell. It's yeah. I mean, I guess it's deserved. I don't know. I haven't fucked around with those games in a long time, so let's see. Best indie game, that's Stray, beating Call of the Lamb. It's bullshit. Call of the Lamb's fucking amazing. Neon White, Sifu, and
Oh, mate.
Tunic. So yeah,
I
Sifu
could
got a
I could have
nomination.
sworn Vampire Survivors was nominated. Oh, debut indie game. Oh, that's stupid. And yet Stray win both? Hell?
Oh yeah, yeah. Best debut indie
So
game
weird.
is Stray 2. Yeah, there's Vampire Survivors in there.
Is it the only difference that Vampire Survivors and Norco are not
I don't
and
know.
Sifu isn't? But I didn't play Cult of the Lamb, but I did play Sifu, and Sifu is awesome. It's really, really good.
Yeah, Call of Lamb was cool. I did like a whole playthrough of that on stream. Put like Twitch. I think it was one of the last games that streamed on Twitch because that Twitch integration as well, so people could join the cult from chat, which is kind of fun,
Oh, neat.
and can customize their own character over the overlay. It was kind of nice. And then people puked on each other. It was great. Yeah, best debut indie game, Stray as well. Best mobile game, Marvel Snap. Okay. Best community support. Final Fantasy Online. Okay. Best VR AR game. Best games replayable in virtual augmented realities. We have After the Fall, which I played. Among Us VR, which I did not play. Bone Lab, which I played. Moss Book
Oh,
2.
how's Bone Lab?
It's alright. It's alright. I'm waiting for the modding community to do some crazy stuff. I played through it once and fucked a little bit around with the mods that were available, but yeah, I'm busy just waiting for all the modding content that people will be doing.
Sorry about that. I've got growling pups again.
So good, so good.
Yeah, no, I didn't get around to playing even a single VR game this year, or at least not one that I hadn't played before.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Innovation and accessibility. Not surprised God of War won that one because holy damn, do they have a lot of accessibility options. It's almost comical how many they have. But yeah, they now only need to put in something to make me less stupid with the companions. That would be nice.
Interesting that Returnal's nominated when like normal people were talking about it being inaccessible because of its save system. People that had no disabilities at all were just like, "Oh, the save system doesn't work with my work-life schedule." I'm like, "Okay, well,
All right.
yeah." And to be honest, like it is a little bit ridiculous that it's like a run-based game where if like you can't just turn off your PS5 and then come back to it like
Yeah.
the next day unless you have it in rest mode. Even if you're in the middle, it's not like okay, we won't let you retry if you die and like reload a save point. But they
Yeah.
basically did it so that people can't save scum the way they do in Souls games, where like you upload your save file to the cloud and then you die or like burn all of your items and then
Yeah,
just
yeah.
download your thing. Like I think they were so paranoid about people doing that they made it a game that could, like if your PlayStation crashed while it was in rest mode, it would like corrupt your save file. Like
Oh.
because it was basically constantly writing to your save file even when it was in rest mode. So yeah, that was causing some issues at launch. Good game though.
Well, it's going to
Really,
cause
really
issues
good.
in general because if there's an update when you have the PlayStation in rest mode, it puts in the update and closes your game.
Oh yeah, and that apparently that aspect did screw people over.
Yeah, I can see that. Because I realized that when I was playing God of War, and the next day I was like, hey, why is it booting up the game again? It's like, oh, there was an update apparently. Okay. So yeah, best action game, Bayonetta 3. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt it. I haven't played it, but yeah.
I have not played Bayonetta 3, but Dev was saying it's absolutely horrible. Like Short Fat Otaku.
Oh, okay.
Apparently they like they introduce a new playable character who kind of plays like trash and the like Bayonetta is like you only play as her for like the first third of the game and apparently it's not great either. They
Okay.
took a couple steps back from Bayonetta 2. That's Dev's opinion, not mine. I actually own the game. I've just yet to play it.
I still haven't played the second one because you only can get it for full price or more everywhere. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. Best action adventure game, God of War Ragnarok. Yes, very good, very good. Best RPG, Elden Ring. Then best fighting game is Multiversus. Oh, that's like the
DC Smash Brothers one.
yeah.
Where you can play as Arya Stark, everybody.
Oh, wait, what?
No, I'm not kidding. She's Arya Stark is a playable character in Multiverse.
That seems weird, but okay.
She's HBO, so therefore she's Warner Brothers. Therefore she's.
All right. Let's see. Best family game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Sure. Best sports racing game, Gran Turismo 7. Best sim strategy game, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Oh, okay. There's another one of those. That's funny.
Yeah. They did another like XCOM
Yeah.
Mario game.
Best multiplayer game, Splatoon 3. Yeah, that was pretty. Content creator of the year, nobody gives a shit. Best esports athlete, don't give a shit. Esports, don't care. I have no idea about this. Most anticipated game, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, although I'm worried for that one because I don't know that the Switch is like if they made Tears of the Kingdom any more ambitious than Breath of the Wild at all, I think Nintendo Switches are gonna like set ablaze trying to run
Yeah,
that.
that's a good point.
Like it was a launch game, guys.
Yeah, yeah, and that already didn't run so good in certain
Yeah.
areas. So,
No, I mean if you can run the Wii U version in 4K on a PC at 60 FPS and it looks pretty good. It
yeah.
does throw the combat off at times though. Anytime you're
Um,
doing one of those perfect parries, it does mess with it a little. Like,
yeah. Now we have Best Adaptation, Arcane, League of Legends, celebrating game-inspired projects across entertainment, including TV, movie. That's actually kind of funny to me because if you would tell me Arcane would be a good adaptation,
you would say it's not a good adaptation.
depending on how you phrase your argument, you could actually
Yeah.
say it's a pretty
Well,
bad
again,
adaptation of the game.
define the categories again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't get me
It's like,
wrong, I fucking love Arcane. Arcane is awesome.
yeah. Oh no,
But
I think
it's
I
just
think Arcane and Edge Runners. While I mean, function. You could argue again the adaptation being for accuracy and
yeah,
not
yeah,
for Arcane. Though I'm not a League lore guy, so I can't even really point that out. I just take people's word for it. I did
yeah,
really enjoy Arcane, and it actually kind of got me into League of Legends enough that I played the whole Rune King, the JRPG that they released, and I like
yeah. Oh,
that
okay.
quite a lot because I watched Arcane was like, oh man, there's a single player League of Legends game that I can buy right now and play, and it's a JRPG, and I was like, oh yeah, this game's actually really good. It's about 30 hours too, which I think is a good length for a JRPG that isn't like a full price one that,
Mm.
it's a spin-off of a different series. They clearly made it on a budget, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. You're in and out, but a lot of good voice acting and stuff there. It's all about Yasuo, Ari, Misfortune, and oh, there's like a healer lady, a dude with a big shield, and oh crap, I forget the other guy too. There's like a pirate dude too. Not like a pirate. He's like I don't know, a
Okay.
fish guy, like
Oh,
a shark man with knives. Yeah, Rune King's the name of the game, Swopu.
I see.
But
Okay.
yeah, Edge Runners though I thought Edge Runners and Arcane I think were the two best video game adaptations ever made. Like I think they both edge out Castlevania, which I think would probably be my pick prior to that.
Mm.
Not exactly stacked competition, but with Silent Hill maybe being the best live action movie, but even then that's you're setting the bar pretty low. Silent Hill's not that great. My sister's in it, so I'm always kind of proud of her being one of the zombie nurses at the end. But
Oh, neat. 0 of 10 never ran on edges. That's true. It's true. But yeah, those were all the things of the game award things, award stuff. Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, honestly, I did like as far as this is again low bar we're talking here, but it's probably the best game awards. Like,
yeah, I mean, you watched it all. I didn't hear any super cringe things happening this time or anything.
and
So
thing was fucking the Joel and Ellie's talking to each other, the live action and the video game ones. Troy Baker and oh god, Ashley Johnson and Pedro Pascal and whatever fucking Liana Mormont is.
okay.
Did you see that part?
I haven't seen any of the actual live
Oh,
event.
okay.
I only
So,
watched the
okay, never
trailers.
mind. I'll explain that then.
Yeah,
So
go
there
ahead.
there
Because
was a scene.
the actual awards is, I think it's like the most boring thing ever. I just want to see the trailers and know who won.
Yeah, well, I mean, and generally the cringe would usually come from either acceptance speeches or
Exactly, exactly.
presenters or commercials. And there were still a few commercials, but honestly, way less, or they hid them better. Like they couched commercials in like, hey, pay us to show your game at this show, as opposed to, hey, take a look at the Schick Razor Man. Like, or they're just like, oh man, that's like beyond cringe. But there was a scene an award that, in fact, oh man, was it? It wasn't the acting one, no, because that was Pacino. I forget. Anyways, it was Pedro Pascal, who's like the Mandalorian guy, and Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones, who's playing Joel and Ellie in the Last of Us HBO show,
Hmm.
with Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, who are Joel and Ellie in the games, and they had the most cringe little thing where they were like pretending to be huge fans of each other and like huge fans of the show and huge fans of the game, and I'm just like, these this is what the professional actors on stage have can do for entertainment to everybody. And I was like, oh man, I was like, you guys are no doing nothing but making me like all of you less.
Nah.
But yeah, other than that though, not a whole lot of crazy cringe moments. And honestly, the most memeable thing happened at the very end, and it wasn't even part of the show. It was the kid coming up during the acceptance speech.
Yeah, that's the only
And
thing I heard about. Because normally it's like, oh, this guy did a little cringe or whatever, but I didn't see anything, so that's nice.
yeah, yeah, no, it was a pretty solid one. It moved along at a pretty quick pace too. Like I
Yeah,
saw some people being like, "Oh, it's still like 4 hours long," but I'm like, "Well, it's an award show. It's going to be long." But
yeah.
long where you're actually like doing awards and showing trailers and stuff, like giving me something to watch that I'm not angered by. Okay,
Yeah. And when I'm
mildly,
looking at all the
that's fine.
trailers that I kind of cared about that look interesting, there's a lot of stuff coming out that I'm probably gonna be checking out next year. It's
Oh, yeah.
actually kind of insane. And I guess you can just
Yeah, we could just
actually don't know how copyright with trailers is in games. I don't.
you know what?
Should be
It's
fine, I
not
guess.
too bad, but sometimes it doesn't matter at all. But
I mean, I
every
don't want
so
to. It's not like I want to show them fully anyway. I'm just wondering
often,
because
I,
I'm because that's what people were yelling about in chat for the most part. Hades too. That's very cool.
honestly, I was probably the only one that was really hoping that was just going to be Hades DLC because I was like, oh, I don't want Supergiant to be making a sequel to Hades already. And
I mean,
so it's
I
like,
was surprised because I was like, oh, it's not that old that game, but
I mean, I know that studio and they make really interesting games. So I
yeah,
was really kind of looking forward to what they were going to do after Hades. And the answer being more Hades, I was just like, I like Hades a lot, but I don't need more Hades now. Like, do something new.
yeah, I know what you mean. But hey,
That's
it looks very cool again. So yeah. Did we actually get the name of her, or did we just call her Witch for now? I think we just called her Witch, right?
I don't know.
At least in the later
You
part,
know,
they call her Witch. If someone in chat caught the name, throw it in chat. Uh,
the deal is, I guess it's Zeus has been imprisoned, or at least that seemed to be what the trailer gave me the impression that.
okay.
And do you know
Apparently,
who the player character is?
apparently her name is Melano, but the name isn't in the trailer yet. Okay, so yeah, so we got her. Apparently, her weapons of choice is like a dagger and like a sickle of some sorts.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
there'll probably be multiple weapons as there was in the first Hades, but
yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, are you looking forward for 2023 being Hades 2 release date copium? Wait, what?
I mean, they're doing early access and it's Epic Game Store first, I think. Oh, I don't know if they're doing it again. I think they just said early access, but I don't know. I might just wait till it's in 1.0 because I bought Hades on early access and I didn't really play it till it was in 1.0, so I might just wait it out.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the little intro sequence is really cool. I really like the art design they
Yeah,
choose for these
they're,
games. They're really
they're
cool.
great.
Love it, love it.
Did you play Bastion?
Did I play Bastion? I don't
If you
remember.
If you've not,
Maybe.
I recommend playing Bastion. I think you will really like it. It's got a really cool style where the whole game's being narrated in real time by like sort of an
Oh,
old
I think I
man.
played that a little bit. I don't even know if I played that on stream or just offline while fucking around. I don't recall, but I remember it being pretty cool. Yeah, I did.
I think actually going back to it after Bastion, after Hades, you'll be like, ah, yeah, they were always good, weren't they? Super.
Yeah, and then immediately someone brings up Transistor. I heard about that game as well.
Transistor, I actually didn't get around to playing, though. I did play their like kind of sports game Pyre, and that was actually pretty cool too.
Ah, should play Shadows over Loathing. It's funny you mentioned that. I've been watching Markiplier's playthrough of West of Loathing, and and also the Shadows over Loathing playthrough right now. Looks pretty fun, that game actually.
Oh, really? I haven't even heard of it.
It's like a black and white stickman kind of dealio almost. Uh, it's like super comedy driven and has like a little turn-based RPG stuff in there. It's It looks kind of fun. Looks kind of fun.
Yeah, right on. I'll check it out.
Yeah. The spittoon, yeah, the spittoons are really funny. Uh, but yeah, looks really cool. I mean, just look at, I just fucking love the art style. It's really cool. But yeah, it looks like the gameplay loop is probably going to be around about the same. Probably have uh, more weapons later on, as we already touched upon. Yeah, I can see here one actually have a little staff. You can do some magic flames, and I guess you go through different areas. We also saw some other characters already, which I can't pinpoint on the timeline here right now. Moros, Doom Incarnate. I never heard of that one, but yeah. You were about to say something? Go ahead.
I was about to say, I wonder if they're going to change the progression system in the game, or if it is just going to be the same kind of deal that you have a room, you can choose to then, go in a place that has health or a place that has enemies, and
Mm.
then you can kind of craft your loadout for each run as you go. And I think it would be cool to do that again, but it might also be kind of interesting if they like it would sort of justify it being a sequel, like a totally different game, if she acquires her abilities differently. And like maybe still have it be a roguelike. Like I'm not saying to
Mm-hmm.
totally just make it like an ARPG or something like that, like change the genre. But I don't know. I think it might be cool to have the progression system pan out a little differently. I don't have a solid idea as to how though.
Yeah, I get
You
you.
need to do better, Senator.
Metal Choo Choo Charles came out. Oh boy, I want to check that game out.
Oh
That
yeah,
looks really
I
funny.
gotta watch you, Charles.
Sorry?
I've been looking forward to that game forever. That
Oh,
looks really good. It's like they just so you know though, if you guys look up Choo Choo Charles, that's a game made by one guy. So
oh shit. Okay.
keep that in
Yeah.
perspective when you like watch
And
footage of
and
it.
for whoever is not aware, Choo Choo Charles is basically you get I think hunted by a big spider train,
Mhm.
and you have a train yourself. You can upgrade and you do stuff. It looks pretty funny. I definitely want to
Your
check that
train
out.
is confined to tracks though, so that's the thing. It's not like you can just run away from the from the spider train that isn't confined to tracks. He can go anywhere. But you can only move around if there's a train track to move you around on this island that you're on. So it's
Yeah.
seems like a pretty cool deal.
Let's see. We got a frog here. Uh, a ghost. But yeah, looks pretty neat. Looking forward to it. I like it. I actually have to go back to the first Hades because I don't think I had all the dialogue yet. I probably need to do a couple of another runs through that. But I'll probably do that when I looking forward to this one. Got a proper date and everything. But yeah, Zeus seems to be captured by someone. Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
after Kronos apparently. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's
And
what's been mentioned in the trailer as well.
setting of one of the first God of War levels.
Oh my god, we're going back. Leave me alone, God of War Ragnarok. I'm trying to move on, but you won't let me. And
I
Mola
was like,
won't let us either.
referred to setting, and it was entirely accurate.
Not Zeus. Oh, Hades. Yeah, not Zeus. Sorry.
Yeah, I was talking about Kronos being the setting.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Oh wait,
I
that oh
but
really? That's Hades? What
this
is?
looks like Zeus. No, I'm
Yeah,
confused.
like Hades look. Oh, I guess I'll look at his beard. Although, wait, no. Now I feel like I got to play Hades again. I don't remember Hades looking like that.
um, fucking Ragnarok soundtrack in my brain.
Man, it's a hard one to get out of there.
It really is. It really is.
You should listen to the theme song for the anime Chainsaw Man. I've had that stuck in my head for like 3 weeks now, and it's got
Oh,
a very chunky bass line.
no, that looks like it has some fun, some cool fights and animations. That's probably
Oh
one of
yeah,
the enemies I'm gonna binge watch on a weekend when I have nothing to do and just lie
it's
in bed.
pretty solid so far. Like this past week's episode was wild.
Nice.
Yeah, it's episode 8. I don't know if you do get around to it, be like, oh yeah, this is the one that MarcTheCyborg was like. That one was wild.
Ooh. Let's see. What do I have next here? Oh yeah, we get a sequel to Remnant. From the Ashes, I think was the first one's name.
I
Yeah.
thought that it was good.
Uh, I had fun with that game. I remember the bosses being pretty poopy for the most part.
Yeah, they were pretty straightforward.
And I think I played it with a friend a second time just for the lulz in co-op while we were drinking. So
I intended to, but no one ever wanted to play it with me. So I beat it once on my own, and then I was like,
it
"Hey
was
guys, run it. It's pretty good." They're like, "Eh, I
it
don't
was
know."
just one of those things where we were like, "Hey, we plan to hang out this weekend and have drinks and play games. What are we playing? No idea. Just go for the Steam list. Like, oh, let's play that."
I don't know. I thought it was a neat middle ground between like I always thought it was what you get if you cross a Souls game with like Resident Evil 5.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like I'm up for that. It's like okay, that sounds like something I could get into if it's fun to play, and it was fun to play. So I was
But
like,
yeah,
all right.
that game was for me like the quintessential. Yeah, it was fun, but I don't think I need to play it a lot of times again.
It's good. It's like the kind of thing THQ would have published back in the day,
That's a good point. Yeah.
the B level game.
Yeah, we got some cool looking monsters. But yeah, this is just an announcement trailer, so there's not a lot of gameplay in here, but it looks pretty same-ish for the most part. You have some shooting stuff. You have your scavenged weapons and everything. Looks like there's more hive stuff going on. I actually don't remember. What was the ending on Realms of the Ashes?
So you find what looks
This
like an Akira type kid, just
right, yeah, that was
roots
weird.
growing out of his head, and he's got like what almost looks like a VR helmet on. So it kind of makes you think it's like, what actually did happen with this world, and how do the roots and the trees sync up to their technology, and what's happened with everything. And then I found out that it was actually a sequel to a game called Chronos. Speaking of Chronos, actually, that's I don't think it actually had anything to do with the Titan, like the Greek Titan, but actually the game was called Chronos as well. That I
Oh, okay.
believe was an Oculus Rift game, and but
Oh,
it's like
okay.
it's full blown like a Souls game. It's like a melee combat game. So I don't know. I think with them doing a follow up to it, I think that there is a pretty solid bet that they might have really thought this universe out, and I should look into it. But at this point, I'm not an expert on it, so
Yeah.
I can't give you the ins and outs. I do remember little tree boy with the VR helmet at the end, though.
Let Mala watch the latest Rambo movie so he can rant about the hammer again, like in the first one. Oh yeah, there's like a, a really funny clip. I was just playing the game, and then Mala came to hang out on stream, and he ranted about the Rambo movie, the latest one that came out. It's like a
Oh
15,
yeah,
20 minute rant. It's so funny. It's hilarious.
I actually I really love First Blood. Like it's actually one of my favorite movies of all time, and I like Rambo First Blood Part Two, like the one that I think James Cameron wrote, and wasn't a fan of three. And as much as everyone was really pumped about four when it came out, I was like, I don't know, guys, it wasn't a very good movie. I was like, I want to be charitable to Rambo. Trust me, I love John Rambo as a character, and yeah, this movie's not great. It's very violent. I'll give it that. Like Rambo, that I think it is just called Rambo, or is it John Rambo? I don't
I
know.
don't remember. I mean, I never
Well,
watched it. Mala came
one
back from the
where he's
cinema or something.
that one I think is I don't even remember what that one's called. But the one in Southeast Asia is the one I'm talking about. The first one Sylvester Stallone did as an old man. Like, and
Mm.
a lot of people that I knew that like action movies were like, yeah, that was awesome. I was like, it really was not. And I think that was the
Really
time
was.
where I was out with my friends who like action movies, and I was like, hey man, like, but we can have a story and characters too. And they were like, what are you talking about? It was good.
No, blood. It's like,
Big man with big gun.
yeah.
Person explode. I'm like, yeah, that was all right, I guess.
So yeah, Ramdon 2. Maybe it's gonna be fun again. I'll check it out. I'll play it. Sounds
Yeah.
sounds like a good time. But yeah, just another trailer, so there's not a lot to grasp from here, and this is not gonna be any deep dives into the trailers because that's too
Don't
many.
launch it for full price focus. Make it like $40 and people will buy it. That's one of
Yeah.
the reasons I bought the first one.
Yep. Let's see. This is probably the most interesting release that I've came to know about in the last couple of weeks. The Lords of the Fallen. Anyone remember that game from back in the day? Lords of the Fallen? I do. I played it when it came out.
I did not because I was told to avoid it as it's like knockoff
Uh,
Souls. It's not very good.
yeah.
But
So
I
the funny
know it is. So.
funny part is I played the game before I did anything with YouTube and media and whatever. So I played all the way through it when it came out. I was like, yeah, it was alright, I guess, whatever. And then at some point I saw Mahler play it, and I was like, man, this looks really shit. Why did I like this at all?
I
So
actually, James, Moore, that you bring that up, their following game, The Surge, I did play and I quite liked. I didn't finish it, and I haven't played The Surge 2, but I like The Surge. I think, in fact, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, Callisto Protocol. I mean, like, because Callisto Protocol is primarily like a melee combat game where you're in a sci-fi horror world, like that's very violent. And I was like, there's ways that you can do that. Then I was just like, wait, the Surge is pretty much that. And it speaking of the parallel between Callisto Protocol and Dead Space, a big thing with the Surge was cutting off limbs too,
mm,
like specifically targeting them. So I was like, yeah, the Surge is pretty much what the Callisto Protocol should have been. Should have been Spooky the Surge on a ship if they wanted to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I hate that they just added a "the" to the title though for the sequel. Like, I didn't like when Suicide Squad did that, even though I like Suicide Squad a lot more than Suicide Squad. It makes it confusing to talk about.
yeah. Where can I find Mahler's Rambo rant? There's a clip of it on my archive channel, and I think Mahler released a clip for himself as well on Mueller. So pick your poison. Probably just find it when you get Mahler Rambo or Metalcommander Rambo, whatever. You'll probably find it somewhere there. I don't know what
Everyone's
the name is.
Surge.
Likely.
Everyone's turning on Surge One in chat here. Sorry guys, I thought it was okay. I enjoyed I enjoyed its premise and its gameplay.
Let's see. Different companies making Lords of Fallen. Yeah, so what I find interesting about this is that Lords of Fallen wasn't like a beloved game or whatever. It was kind of like a game that came out and then nobody really ever talked about it ever again. And then all of a sudden, from the ashes, they come around. It's like, hey, we're making one of these again. And everyone is like, yeah, but why though?
Yeah, like I mean, Remnant, I could I could see Remnant was recent enough, it did well enough, and I think it reviewed well enough that I can understand a Remnant 2 coming out as like another Remnant game. Whereas Lords of the Fallen, especially if it's a different developer, why not? I mean, just give it a different title. Like,
Yeah.
call it something else entirely. That's a new game that people are like, oh man, that looks awesome. Now you have the baggage of people who maybe like me who didn't play Lords of the Fallen but heard it was bad so avoided it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I might be doing this one out of just reflex. Like, I mean, I shouldn't, don't get me wrong, but I'm aware that I should.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, but I'm aware that I might do it
Yeah.
anyways.
When I first saw the name, I asked why. I'll play it, but why? It's okay, I wouldn't. Uh, but yeah,
I guess that's how I felt about the Bayonetta spinoff that they showed. The little I don't oh yeah, wait, you didn't see. Oh, you know what? That I think that was a pre-show announcement. They did a little Bayonetta like
yeah, I
sort of
saw it, but I didn't really care, so I didn't actually watch that announcement thingy. It's like,
yeah.
it
I
looked
was
kind of
kind of just
weird,
like,
like a small little flam game or whatever.
yeah, I know, and I had the same kind of reaction. I was like, oh, I don't know, I don't understand why you would make that. I'll probably play it, but
So yeah, I don't know what this is, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, there's some cool visuals in the trailer. Like you have this, I don't know, monster bridge
yeah, that looks really cool.
staircase, and then you have like these things. Let me go back a couple of frames. There you go. Whatever is going on there has some berserk kind of dealing going on here almost.
All right, I'm in.
Uh, yeah, it's some pretty neat kind of monster thingies we see. But yeah, it seems to be a third person. Oh, Jesus Christ. The fucking sound was on. It scared the fuck out of me.
Oh, I was about to say because I didn't hear it, so I was like, wait, what did I do?
No. I just wanted to play a short clip and the fucking sound was on. It goes like, "Nah!"
Oh wait, they heard it. Oh, I guess because I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's
not
not a
listening.
watch together. I just have it on my on the stream, of course. But yeah, you just have some dodging things. I mean, it already looks faster because I remember the other one being pretty slow. But yeah, I'll check it out. We'll see
You can
what
even
happens.
Dark Souls to Dark Souls 3. Like that sped up a lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. If I would do
Haha.
that, would be a spooky ween to make.
Cyborg is unaffected yet again. Haha, baby.
Haha. uh, yeah, that's that one. I mean, not a lot to say. It's the official gameplay reveal trailer. So who knows? Yeah,
Hey,
looks
they show gameplay. I'm happy about that. I was upset at pretty much every single one of these that didn't show gameplay,
yeah.
with the possible exception to Kojima. But the reason I wasn't upset is highly subjective, and I'm aware of that.
Let me see here. Right, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Gears of
Remember
War.
I
Gears of
remember the
War.
first one that I played
It's
what
really
feels like
good. Yeah,
12,000 years ago.
it's
Uh,
still good. I played it for a mouse and keyboard for the first time last year and wrote most of a script on it, but I moved kind of in the middle of when I would have been making the video, so I didn't get around to it. But
mm,
yeah, I they announced the sequel and it made me happy. And I've actually started getting into the 40K one that Rags was kind of pissed about some of the choices they made for it. That my wife's been playing with.
Darktide.
Yeah, Dark Tide. It's
Haven't gone
it's
back to it yet since the beta.
I
It's on Game Pass. I could check it out anytime I want. So.
Yeah, I didn't delete. I stopped using the veteran sharpshooter character that I made, and I switched to a psyker,
Uh
and
huh.
I really like playing as the psyker. It's a
Mm.
much different role that you do in combat, and you have ultra powerful abilities that really leave you vulnerable while you're kind of charging up the cast time on them. And it's I don't know, it's an interesting type of gameplay that I didn't really see coming, and I've been wanting to play it ever since, and I've had engagements that I've needed to attend to.
Yeah.
But
Uh.
yeah, no, I didn't really like it while I played during the pre-release thing. But yeah, no, but anyways, I guess to bring it back to this game, so this trailer probably dropped at about the perfect time because I'm like, yeah, Warhammer 40K games, all right. I kind of like this universe. I'd like to see more of it,
Yeah.
and I know I like Space Marine. And I know this is going to be a single player game that will end, that will likely also have a multiplayer mode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so James, if you haven't played Space Marine, the interesting thing about Space Marine, and it's why the joking nickname people give the game, Gears of Warhammer, is it's both accurate and not accurate because it's half a Gears of War game. When you're shooting and intending to shoot, it is Gears of War almost exactly. The thing is, you also have melee, and then it becomes like almost not like a Dark Souls type game, more like a Devil May Cry type thing, but you're not a fast guy like Dante. You're a dude who's in like really heavy armor, but you can move like he can, sort of. So I don't know. You're clunkier than a Devil May Cry type character, but it feels like that's how you probably should feel in the suit. And I don't know. It's got a really interesting control system once you get used to it, and I think it's actually a pretty unique game. Like when it seems like it might be the most generic thing ever because it's like okay, it just looks like a Gears of War ripoff third person
Mm.
shooter, and it's Warhammer 40K, and there's a million Warhammer 40K games. So it's like I don't know. As a Space Marine though, it's better than you probably think it is, or at least the
Yeah.
first one.
I
This
mean,
one might be.
or like that. There's a lot of enemies to slice and dice up here. That's I'm a big
That
fan
was
of that.
That was a change from the first one, though. First one, you'd have some crowds, but it would usually be more the appearance of a bigger battle going on around you, and you'd only be fighting like 4 or 5 people at any given time.
Yeah.
God of War, Seatown.
uh,
Mauler's like, or sorry, Metal's like, I'm in.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, give it to me. Uh, but yeah, look, you can so many enemies to kill and one go. I'm a fan of that. I mean, I'm I'm a sucker for those Dynasty Warrior kind of games, but there hasn't been a good one in forever. Like all the ports have been shit from what I heard.
Mhm.
So I haven't been checking out any of them, but I just like the senseless beating down on hundreds of thousands of enemies. It's just fun stuff. That's why
Yeah.
EDF is so fucking great. Everyone go play
Yeah,
EDF.
EDF was on sale the other day, and I've had it on my wish list forever. I almost wanted to pull the trigger on it. I was like, should I? I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure
ED
if I can justify it right now. I have a lot of stuff to play, but I
yeah.
saw EDF 5 for like $30 or like $20, something like that. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking
maybe.
love EDF. I'm waiting for EDF 6, but there's not a Western release yet, unfortunately. It's only on in Japan on PlayStation at the moment. But
Ah,
that's always the case with the EDF games. They always come out late here. But then
yeah.
they mostly, at least I think they all dropped on PC immediately, so that's good.
Ah, right on.
But yeah, look, this is some pretty big battlefields. At least what it looks like. They say down there it's alpha alpha footage, so who knows how big you can actually go around. But hey, it looks
Yeah,
like you
or
can.
how much this, because again, as I was saying with the previous game, they did a lot of perspective tricks. Actually, not unlike the first few God of War games, where there's crazy things happening in the background that make you feel like you're a part of this big, huge thing, but really you're fighting on a little narrow corridor with like 10 enemies on it, you know?
Yeah,
Like they might be doing some stuff like that because they did do that a lot in the first game, but the first game was also made in like I don't know, what is it, like 2006? Like it's an old game,
yeah, it's
but
been a long time. Uh,
yeah, that was a good one though.
but yeah, if you can give me some gory action fleams with space marines, I'm in. um, listen, I'm not hard to please. Just don't make me regret my choices, okay? That's all I ask
I
for.
wonder if Mark Strong is doing the voice of the main character again because he was in the first game,
Oh,
but
okay.
I guess we'll have to look into it, or if they recast him with someone else.
Oh, also 2023. Uh, let's see here. Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. That's a game I've
Yeah,
been waiting for a long time because that's probably not a game you'll be seeing me streaming because those games that Larian Studios have been making. It's like been a game I've been playing with a good friend of mine every time we just hang out over a weekend, and then it just takes like a year for us to finish it. Because we also do every single side quest everywhere. Um,
I've never played a CRPG multiplayer in my life. I might have to try that with Baldur's Gate 3. Like, find some people that are like willing to commit.
yeah, but yeah, this game looks really good. Uh,
I, I played the early access version, which is like the first act that
right, yeah, that came
which
out.
I hear is like a third of the game. So I basically played the first third of this game, but when it was at the most early access state that it was in.
Mm-hmm.
I made a video on it. It's on Geeks and Gamers. I think Geeks and Gamers Play. I don't think it's a main channel one.
Yeah.
But and it was kind of the first CRPG that I'd played outside of like Dragon Age Origins. Like that had pretty much been the only one that I had ever played prior to that. And I'd never played Dungeons and Dragons until this year. Actually, I was on the Geeks and Gamers tabletop channel as
No,
a
okay.
D and that's the first time I've ever played D&D. So playing Baldur's Gate 3, I guess 2 years ago now, when the early access version came out, kind of felt like the first time I was ever like playing playing
Oh, okay.
D&D. I think part of what really made it feel like that in a way that say like Dragon Age didn't, even though fundamentally it's the same kind of things going on,
Yeah.
is the dice that pops up on screen. Like when you're gonna do like a skill check, it throws a d20 up on the screen, and then you click it to like roll it, and it starts spinning, and you can kind of stop it by clicking on it again, which you feel like you can control, but you
Okay.
can't really because it is just a dice roll. But it is kind of like, oh, and stop it. Okay, yes, pass the skill check. It was so
Yes.
satisfying. Like it kind of felt like gambling, but there was no money involved. It was just like, come on, persuade this lady to do
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. I don't have to fight those trolls. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it, and I think that if you like CRPGs, you will probably like Baldur's Gate 3 quite a bit.
I mean, if you like Divinity
Not a-
Original Sin 1 and 2, you'll probably like this from the same studio, and
yeah,
those
really
games
good
have been
game.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I think that fundamentally, I think it plays quite a bit like Divinity Original Sin 2. Just the presentation of the narrative is a lot more engaging, or at least a lot more easily engaging, because it's pretty simple, but it just tilts the camera down to like eye level with the character, and they're lip synced, voice acted cutscenes instead of,
Mm-hmm.
well, not cutscenes really, like they're just shot reverse shot. But instead of, how in Divinity it's just kind of always hovering above the board, um, like the camera, I mean. It's always kind of a bird's eye view, right?
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
with voice acting for the most part as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I know, and like Larian, I think did quite a good job with Divinity Original Sin 2 as well. I
Yeah.
keep on, I've got to like put in the time to actually get through the entire thing.
Oh, it's a
But Baldur's,
long game. It's
I
really
know, and
long.
that's really why I haven't finished it. Whereas Baldur's Gate, I think because I knew it was early access, and they're like, it's only Act One, and I'm like, okay, I can play this to do an impressions video of it, and like, what the
Mm.
hell? I like RPGs. I play a lot of JRPGs. I played a few Western RPGs that are like in-depth ones, but never a like legit Dungeons and Dragons one. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 really scratched that itch, and it made me understand all you D&D players out there. It's like, ah,
Nice.
this nerd game is actually all right.
Yeah. But yeah, they gave us lounge month, which is sometime August next year. So it's still gonna take a while, unfortunately. But there's finally a window to look forward to. Uh, yeah, there's dragons apparently. That's cool. But yeah, looking
The
forward to that to play those things. Also, they have a guy climbing out of a mimic.
Yeah, the premise of the game is you begin as a prisoner of a mind flayer, like, or well, I guess a group of them, and they put this like, tadpole thing in your brain. So you have the ability to persuade people really easily with like this magic kind of like eldritch ability that you have, but you know that doing that will make the thing corrupt you more. So
Mm.
it's like you can kind of lean on the game and go like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just convince everyone with my like elder god powers, and that might end up like turning you into a squid person. But I don't know. I
Oh,
haven't played the whole game, so
I'd
it's
play as a
it's a
squid person. That sounds fun.
yeah. It seems like that could be a whole path. It makes me wonder if the third act is just like, okay, that's you've made your choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to that. What else do I have here? Doobly doobly. I mean, ugh, it's still like 10 tabs open. Um, I mean, there's some Crash game coming out as well.
Yeah,
Crash
Crash
Rumble,
Bandicoot, Smash Brothers.
which I'm not sure what it actually is. Apparently, you collect fruits and put them in the middle thing or something. I'm actually not sure, but it's just a reveal trailer, so we didn't get any actual gameplay or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, but it looks like this is the map ish, one of the maps or whatever. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It seems you collect those what are they called, wampa fruits or whatever, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and you put
There,
them
I mean,
up in the
there was
thing here or something, in your thing. I don't know.
I feel was there a game called Crash Bash back in the day? I feel like there was. Am
I
I making that up?
no, think you're right. That sounds
Okay, thank God.
familiar.
I was like, hold on. I was
Wasn't
like, am I
wasn't
just thinking
Crash
of
Bash
a game and I just gave it a
the
title that
I think it
is a
was
little
the
ring?
party game, the Mario Party clone, I think.
Oh, okay, Mario Party Clone. I was
2000.
wondering. 'Cause I vaguely remember the title in the cockles of my brain, and I was like, wait, was that a Smash Brothers like fighting game?
No,
And
it's like a Mario Party, a party video game. Yeah.
they had to do the fighting game to clone all of the Nintendo team up game things because they did Crash Team Racing back in the day, and honestly, Crash Team Racing, I will not hear a bad word about that game.
I never played it, but I hear
Really good.
it's was pretty darn good back in the day.
I would take Crash Team Racing over Mario Kart 64 any day of the week. I know, like, I mean, those
Oh
were the
boy.
two that were kind of the kart racers of the day, and you had the Nintendo fanboys that would swear the Mario one was better, and I'm like, nah, guys. I was like, I would honestly take Mario Kart on Super Nintendo over the 64 one.
Well, there you go.
Maybe a hot take, but I don't know. That's how I feel.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Um, right. Uh, oh yeah, Death Stranding too. I mean, I never played Death Stranding, so I don't actually have anything to say about this, but it's like a
I
4 minute trailer. It's pretty long.
Yeah, I will admit my Hideo Kojima fanboyism. It's unhealthy, and I apologize, but
Uh,
I did like Death Stranding quite a bit. I'm always reluctant to recommend people Kojima games because I'm like, I mean, I think this is a really good game, and if you wanted to talk about it, I could probably explain to you why I think so with actual reasons beyond, oh, because I like Kojima. Like I do actually have reasons, but it's like I feel like most of why I like this is that I think the dude who makes it is the most delightful kind of insane, and I enjoy his. And I don't know that I can explain that part of it. So yeah, but yeah, no, Death Stranding is a very unique post-apocalyptic game. I guess is
mm,
probably the best way I would pitch it to someone who's like, why would you be interested in this? It's a game that the primary objective, and pay attention to my words here because they're going to be important. The primary
okay.
objective in every mission is to deliver a package.
Oh, I know
That is
that.
the
I know that.
and that's the part that I think a lot of people get hung up on. But it's like,
I
but the
also know
actual
this. There was Monster Energy in the beginning.
oh yeah, yeah, they did have they did have some brand deals. They had one with AMC as well. In
Oh.
fact, when you take a shit in the game, a opaque piece of glass goes over your shower slash toilet. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
with an ad for Norman Reedus's AMC motorcycle documentary show. And I'm not
Nice.
kidding. Oh, and by the way, you're Norman Reedus taking that shit. Oh, and then you can throw that shit at ghosts.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
buckle up,
already
kid.
in. I'm gonna play that now.
Yeah. So
You
there
can
you
throw
go.
shit at
Uh,
ghosts? Fuck yeah.
yeah, yeah. You fight what are effectively ghosts
Metal,
that
you can pee and make pee grenades. You'll love it. That sounds like
well,
something I'd
basically,
enjoy, yeah.
human bodily fluids are what you use to fight against the otherworldly beings. So urine you can use feces, but the most powerful thing to use that you start using a lot at the end of the game is blood.
Then I'm gonna
So
say to these ghosts,
off the
you're
bat, it's
in trouble.
well, I mean, the thing is, like, you're like, okay, you're throwing poop and urine. It's like, yeah, but it's like, but then you have a blood rifle by the end of the game. So
Oh.
it's like, oh, that actually does sound kind of badass. So, like, but yeah, no, Death Stranding it's a very, very unique post-apocalyptic game in that the primary objective, like I said, delivering packages, but the actual gameplay is finding the route. Like that ultimately it's a traversal game. And there's lots of stuff in your path, including enemies, and you can choose to stealth around those enemies, to speed past them in a vehicle, to
Mm-hmm.
do you can kind of approach any of these objectives any way you want. And there's just a whole lot you can do it with any given mission. Like you could play that game a million different ways and not do the same way twice
Oh, okay.
for even different missions. Like not take the same approach to two missions in the same playthrough, you know? So it's I don't know. And like that's what I mean. Like I mean, sorry, not to pick on you, Jake, but like saying you're a FedEx driver, I'm like, I don't know. That's it's really oversimplifying it. Like that's kind of like saying you're a soldier in Call of Duty, or like, you're one of those military guys. It's like, well, yeah, I mean that's your job. That's it's kind of what you're doing, but like the shooting and combat is sort of that's the game part. Which I mean might be semantics, but I don't know. My brain sees a distinction. I'm retarded though.
If you kill them, you have to carry the bodies to a furnace, or else it blows up the world. That sounds
It
great.
doesn't blow up the world necessarily, but basically a dead body gets can get stranded between the worlds of the living and the dead, and there's a chance that it might trigger a void out, which is essentially a nuclear explosion. It doesn't
Sick.
destroy the whole world, but it's like, oh, a nuke might go off if we don't burn this body within like the next few hours.
I will never burn
It might not.
anybody's.
It might be fine, but yeah, and I mean, you could go full blown chaos too and just kill everybody and constantly be setting off void outs, and yeah, then
Hell
that
yeah.
works too. There's also kind of asynchronous multiplayer that's happening, so you are rebuilding roads, and like the roads are easier to drive around so that you can move around faster. But you'll notice right away when you gain the ability to build the roads is that the amount of resources every piece of road that's like 50 meters costs is ridiculous. The thing is, you're sharing those resources with all the people that are like instants in the area. So if you build one path of road, it will kind of sync you up to a bunch of other players who have
Okay.
built like the next path of road. And then you two kind of become part of the same network, and their contribution kind of gets added to your save file, and like now you always have their roads. I don't It's like there's a lot going on in Death Stranding that is more than just, oh, it's crazy Japanese man make package delivery game. Like, like it's really kind of oversimplifying a game that's not easy to get into, but has a lot to it.
All right. I mean, I'll probably play it at some point.
But again, that was all told to you by a Kojima fanboy, so take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. But yeah, Death Stranding 2. I mean, that is one of the crazy things that I know about Kojima. I mean, we had the baby in the thing, which is a thing. But now that thing is here in the background. It's now fish tank. So I guess it's after they need that. But at the end, the baby respawns in that fallen over fish tank or something. I'm sure that means something. I just don't
Well,
know.
I think that I mean, this might kind of spoil the ending of the game, but let's just say that pod is no longer in use.
I
So
mean, yeah, I
it
figured as
is.
much.
Well, I mean, I think that some people were like, "Oh, what? They're growing like is BB gonna grow out of like some fish larvae?" I'm like, guys, I think it's just they're
No,
using it
that's
as."
just. I think it's very clearly implying, oh, we don't need this anymore. I'll put some fishies in there.
Thank you.
uh,
You wouldn't believe the theories that I've been arguing against.
oh god. Well, yeah, we have this lady. I don't know if she wasn't the first one. I don't know.
Her name is Fragile,
That's
played by
such a
Leah
Kojima
Seydoux.
name to give a character.
Her catchphrase is horrible, though. Her catchphrase is, which I will, I don't know, make less sense if you don't know that the word fragile, when said in French, is pronounced fragile. She flat out says, "I'm fragile, but not that fragile." That's her thing that she says more than once in the game. It's ridiculous.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I said, I know he's not easy to love.
uh, so yeah, some soldiers come to get them. She runs away, but gets shot. Uh, tumbles over, cries some goop out of her eyes. Maybe this is actually just the origin story of Quiet. Who knows? Uh, that's a
I know
theory
that's
for you.
also which happens.
And yeah, we have this thing again, which I'm pretty sure was in the first game as well.
BB's the baby's name.
BB is the baby's.
Yeah.
Kojima, please.
No, like he won't listen. That's why I'm always very hesitant to recommend him because I'm like, it's
Yeah,
so easy to just sound like you're simping for a guy who's popular when you're talking about Kojima, which is why I actually have to like think about the games and be like, here, I need to explain why this is good, and I might
yeah.
need a bit of time.
Well, yeah, that baby
You know,
respawns in that chamber that has been toppled over. I guess that's lucky, otherwise it would have drowned, I guess. I don't know. And then we got Mr. Reedus back, topless. There's also a
And
big ass submarine thingy. Where is it? And I guess they formed some kind of team faction kind of dealio as the vibe that I got. But yeah, this is cool. Really Metal Gear looking machine that comes out of the water or whatever that was. Looks really
well, I
cool.
mean, things like Kojima's, he's the kind of weirdo that like will have things like the word drawbridge being written on that be extremely significant thematically. And not because he's a genius. I'm not simping for him here. I'm just saying he thinks that way. So yeah, like you'll know that he's the kind of guy that if he wrote a thing on a thing, he probably was like, I gotta think of a cool way to name this in a way that is sort of really on the nose about my themes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can be bothersome, but I imagine that thing will be something of a device that can extend communication between people
Mm.
or like transportation. Maybe maybe it can get people across. Yeah, maybe travel. That would probably make sense. Here's a bridge that we can extend and retract as we need.
Yeah. And then all the way at the end, we get this guy, which I could just see in a Metal Gear game as a boss, just the way he looks here. It's just he has some guitar thingy. You can see his guts, I guess,
Yeah.
or whatever he has here.
Hmm.
And he's about to unmask, but then it cuts away. So this might be some cool celebrity or something. I don't know.
Well, if you heard his voice, that's absolutely Troy Baker. Like, I was just like, okay, so like, I mean,
Fine.
is that Higgs or is he playing a new character? I don't know. Like, I thought it was, I was shocked at how they were hiding his face when I'm just like, hey, like that's a guy who's like sitting behind Kojima at these awards.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, there you go. But yeah,
Although maybe here, I'll get mark this time code, and if the game comes out and turns out that's not Troy Baker, then I'm
get wrecked. I tossed
So
a
it seems like
package at a man and nailed him in the
It kind
head.
of seems like he has Lindsey Wagner's hair from the first game, though.
I tossed a package at a man and nailed him in the head and knocked him out. Nice. Mark, I did enjoy the game. It's just me joking because you can damage destroy packages, so you're basically a FedEx driver. Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I know, Jake. It's kind of why I specifically stated, yeah, man, I'm not picking on you. It's more just that like I've argued against people who have flat out been like, it's literally a game where you're a UPS driver. You do nothing but deliver package. It's so
Mm.
boring. And I'm just like, boring though. Like, what do you do in any video game but find the exit? Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk a little more in depth and like the goal of each, of the primary gameplay, yeah, structure.
Yeah. Also, there's a squid at the end as well.
Yeah,
That's
there's lots of squids in the first game too. They're big.
oh, that's gonna grow. I see.
They're big and extremely inky.
Ugh. Yeah. Death Stranding 2. I guess the people looking forward to that. I'm probably gonna play the first one before that comes out. Possibly.
I'm a little pissed that I'm probably gonna end up buying it on PS5 only to have to buy it again on Steam when I want to own it on a platform I will use forever. But yeah, I might have the patience to wait it out. We'll see what I'm working on video wise at the time. If I'm really busy, it'll be a lot easier for me to be like, okay, I don't have time for Death Stranding 2 right now. Wait
Yeah.
for Steam.
What else do we have? Well, we got Diablo 4 release date trailer, which is basically just a big old cinematic.
Yeah, which is weird because they released a bunch of gameplay previews this week.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Like Skill Up has a full blown preview on it where he's like, yeah, I played for like 20 hours. And I'm like, well, why would they do this and then only show a CGI trailer? Apparently, they also gave canned footage, so they wouldn't let them capture their own footage, and only at 1080p, even though they were playing a better looking version of the game in 4K. So I was like, okay, well,
That's a weird choice. But yeah, I guess in Diablo fashion, they have really cool cinematic things going on here. I mean, those always looked nice. I mean, I'm just trying to find that one frame here.
they had a
Yeah.
performance by Halsey right before this too.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, she a song called Lilith, who is the titular enemy in this game.
I see, I see. But yeah, it's just some I guess the forces of the paladins or something, fighting some good old demons. Yeah, there they are.
In Diablo games.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
I
look.
gotta say, I do like the art direction for Diablo 4. I'm a big fan of Diablo 2. I was not a big fan of Diablo 3, and I like that Diablo 4 seems to have gone back to the more muted palette. I think it looks a lot more atmospheric and cool.
Nice. Uh, yeah,
Oh, well, no, I like Halsey.
cool cinematic themes. That's about it.
Hal-
That's all you get from that trailer. So actually, not a
I
lot.
was just saying, Halsey's latest album is produced by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails,
Hmm.
and yeah, big Nine Inch Nails fan.
Bu- Let's see. What else do I get here? There was Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Uh,
I mean, I liked the first one. I
I
think
s-
I'm just kind of black pilled on Star Wars at this point. I'm just like, even if it's good, it'll just make me sad.
I heard. Wait, was this Jedi?
Jedi Survivor.
No, not Survivors. The other one that came out.
Oh, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, I heard that was fine. Apparently.
Yeah, yeah, it was a very fine game.
Yeah.
It's like cross between an Arkham game, like kind of Metroidvania light in 3D with a bit of Soulsy combat, only it was much easier than any Souls game. Like,
No. Okay.
I mean, like once you kind of get a hang of the combat. I played it on the highest difficulty, and the parry window gets a little shorter, but other than that, it's not too tough.
Okay. Looks like they go in a bit more open worldish, I think. I mean, at least that's what the trailer kind of looks like.
Yeah,
Uh,
Swopu does have a point though. The controls were a little rough at times, which is odd for because it's Respawn who made Titanfall that controls impeccably well.
uh, but yeah, seems to be like action combat. You can dual wield swords, lightsabers.
You could in the first game too. I don't know why they
Oh, then
advertised
I
it.
don't know why they made such a big deal out of it here.
Like you eventually at the end of the game you get a double bladed lightsaber that you can snap in half, and it's
Oh.
two lightsabers then. And I think it's the same one he has because he has the same hilt, like or the same hilt, the default hilt, I guess.
Well, I don't know then. But it looks like there's some kind of companion attack thingy that's going on. Because at one time he yeets up this other guy to kick this one in the head, which looked actually kind of rough from the animation standpoint, but you know, trailer.
I wonder are they gonna make that Boba Fett. Kind of look at him. I just saw that and I noticed he's wearing something that effectively looks like a jetpack. And thinking about the era being
Oh, I see. Yeah.
episode 3 and 4, I'm just like, oh god, oh no, they're not. Okay, fine. Cameos are what Star Wars is now. See what I mean? Like, I'm not capable of
Already
enjoying
annoyed.
Star Wars things, even if it looks okay. I'm just like,
Yeah, there's like some slow mo going on, and these kind of dealios. Uh, yeah.
fighting a
Also,
battle.
also you have this
Yeah,
thing. Oh, fuckle. Go back. You have that lightsaber, the Kylo Ren version.
oh my god, yeah. Did he just have a fucking cross guard? Why? Have they
Hey,
explained why yet?
but look, they have like little things down there, so you could I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to point out. It's not just all laser.
Okay. Well, all right.
Some little guards at least.
Maybe they'll have you like do like zip lines with that or something. Let's try to find a way to work it into the Metroidvania mechanics.
Yeah, so you don't cut off your fingers. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just threw that in here. I mean, it looks like some neat execution things with the robots. And then they obviously want to pre-order you. They want you to pre-order and stuff.
It's not much of a launch cycle there. It's like 3 months to release from first trailer.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, it's a sequel, so I guess you don't have to do all that much, but it kind of just makes me think it's like, I don't know. How confident are you in this?
yeah. So you're gonna chop your fingers off, yeah. Uh, yeah. Let's have a look. See, bloopity blappity bloop. I have two more that I found interesting. Uh, we got Judas, which Swolpool actually pointed out to me because that was one I didn't even look at, but that's from the Bioshock makers, developer Flames.
Ghost Story games, which is interesting because as much as I really thought that looked like, yeah, okay, the BioShock creator making a game that is based like this is BioShock. Let's
It
face
really
it.
looks like Bioshock.
I mean, I think he knows that. I don't think it would be offensive to state that.
No, no.
But also, he also made BioShock Infinite, which I wasn't crazy about.
Oh
So I'm just like,
no, no. Why did you say that? Now I'm sad. Bioshock
because
Infinite sucks ass.
I mean, I liked it when I first played it. It just really doesn't hold up well when
It
you
was
go
the
back.
same. Was exactly the same for me because Mutually made me replay Infinite because he meant to do something with it. So I replayed and I was like, oh, this is actually really bad.
I
Nothing.
like I like the what's funny enough is on replaying Infinite, I like the part of the game that I hated when I first played it because apparently I was an impatient teenager at the time or something because I like the first hour of that game where you don't do any combat and you're just kind of walking around Columbia and you have the oh wait, do they no, they don't show there's some religious imagery and like there's all sorts of
Uh-huh.
kind of interesting environmental storytelling stuff that I was just kind of like when I was first like playing the game on launch day for PS3, I think I played it on. I I just wanted to get into the game, so I'm like, man, I really want some combat. Like first Bioshock, like you took the elevator ride down, you swam to the lighthouse, you took the elevator down, and you were fighting things within 3 minutes. Like
hmm
this game, like I'm like, I feel like I've been walking around this city for like when are these people going to be pissed at me so I can fight some of them?
Shoot me already. God damn it.
And then replaying it, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, well, Columbia is actually like really nice. Like playing it on PC with a mouse and keyboard, it's running beautifully. I'm looking around, I'm just like, oh. And then I get into the combat, I'm just like, yeah, it's like combat. I don't know. I feel like Bioshock 2 kind of plays better than this.
Hmm.
And then after a couple hours, I was like, oh God, I don't remember this game being this boring. Like it's really, it's very dull. Like it's kind of, yeah, it's move forward, shoot guys, move forward, shoot guys. Next combat arena, shoot guys. And the combat's only okay. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, there seems to be more in space now. Seems like lots of space stuff going on.
yeah, which I
Uh,
mean, that's kind of what Prey and System Shock both were, but at the same time, let's see Ken Levine's take on it. I'm in.
yeah, sure. I
That's the
mean,
thing with Bioshock Infinite. As much as like going back to it, I don't really like it all that much. I still think that like it was competently made enough that I think I would still check out something made by the same people if it looked good.
yeah, Judas. I mean, we just got a little bit of shooty stuff. It's just the reveal trailer, so not a lot to to see. Get some music. Apparently, the magic system, whatever their equivalent is, you put like little things in your hands here, and then you can
Yeah,
do all kinds of shenanigans. I guess have some fire stuff. There you go.
got one of those in my leg. No doubt.
Matt, what did you think of the? I think it's called Rapture DLC. I never played the DLC of that.
They rope in the setting of the original game and they make the premise that one of the lighthouses in the like that you could visit with the twins. I forget what their names were, But that one of them is Rapture, and that there's an Elizabeth in there who also plays a role in setting up the first game. So
Okay.
it was clever, but I don't know that I'm not sure how well it would hold up if I went back to it.
Yeah. Apparently, Little Platoon worked on this a little bit. Okay. That does I don't think that means anything to me. Not right now.
Oh, maybe he worked on Rapture or Judas.
Apparently. That
Fair
name
enough.
rings a bell, but is that like a YouTube person?
Little Tune, I think, wasn't he on EFAP a few weeks ago?
I mean, I'm not on all EFAPs.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, I was on that one. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, it was Rings of Power EFAPs. Yeah. Sorry, my brain no worky. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's neat.
yeah. It Rings of Power. I just kind of sidestepped around that entire show. I watched 2 episodes. I only watched the second one because I wanted to talk to Lofty about it because he was the only one in the world who liked that show,
Mm.
and I'm one of the few people who's nice to Lofty even when he has terrible takes. Yeah, so but he was like, yeah, if you watch the second one, maybe we could talk about it because those were the only two that were out at the time. And to be charitable to Lofty, I did watch the second one. I did not like it, and I respectfully told him so. But
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't bring myself to go back for a third one if there was no like, if there wasn't a friend being like, hey, would you watch this episode so I can talk to you about it on stream? I'm like, yeah, I don't need to take time out of my life for Rings of Power.
Well.
What did you would you have watched it if you didn't need to watch it for EFAP?
What, Rings of Power?
Yeah.
I watched it for my own channel.
Oh, did you?
I covered it every week.
Well, see, like I think I wasn't really watching anyone's coverage on it because I wasn't really interested in the show necessarily. But didn't you guys do a whole? You were just saying though that you were on the EFAP episode with Little Platoon on.
At least
Yeah.
I think so. Wait,
Or
hang
oh,
on.
but I mean, I guess were you not planning to cover it? Would you have watched it? Like, did you think there was anything about it worth watching?
Uh, Wait, is the question if I would have watched it anyway, or if
Yeah,
I would
like,
have?
were you interested enough in it to watch it for your own purposes, or just like, well, people who like watch my channel want me to watch it and talk about it, so I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
watch
I mean,
your own
wait,
interest.
hang on. I wasn't on the Rings of Power EFAP. I covered those all by myself.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was just thinking, I covered them all by
maybe you do not
myself. I wasn't
Platoon
even.
after all.
Huh?
Yeah, so maybe you do not know Little Platoon after all.
Yeah, because I'm checking, because I was like, I wasn't on the Rings of Power EFAPs. I only covered them myself. Yeah.
Ah,
Who,
you're
who
safe
was
then.
who was on there? Disparu, Gary, Little Platoon. Yeah, that's nowhere. I'm not involved.
Disparu and Gary being on there makes sense. They were doing nothing but talk about Rings of Power on everything they were on for like 3 months. But
Chat gaslighting Mootle. Yeah. Fucking rude. But I do remember that name, and I remember that avatar. So there we go. Maybe there was another something else. No, there's two of them. Rings of Power continues to exist is here.
I only knew the name right away and that it was from EFAB because I remember seeing in the title Little Platoon and thinking, is that one person or a small group of people?
That's gonna chaotic Discord call. How does Metal forget what he is and is not? Have you seen on how many EFABs I've been? Check out efab.me. It's a lot.
I kind of think of you as being on every episode and that if you miss one, it's kind of like if Rags misses one. It's just like, I guess you just had shit to do that day.
I'm supposed to talk about stuff I haven't watched, so there you go. I still haven't watched Hot D, for example, which I still need to do at some point.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah, I covered basically
good.
all the sludge in those weeks, and I was like, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I'm gonna skip that one, so I don't actually want to end myself after I watch all these things. that would have probably been the one that would have given me sanity. But
Yeah, I think George R. R. Martin primed me well this year. He kicked off the year with being involved with Elden Ring, and then
uh,
ended it by being involved with House of the Dragon. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm okay, George. I'm less mad at you than I was.
please watch Hot D. I will, Kevin. I will. And thanks for being a member for two
Even
months.
actually, my wife, she has a T-shirt that's her on top of a phallic-looking dragon, and it says "Hot D," and she has the Dark Sister sword, which is Daemon Targaryen's, Matt Smith's sword in the show, and yeah, she gave all her profits from it to a prostate cancer family,
Oh, that's awesome.
like a family who's dealing with one member who has prostate cancer. They don't all have prostate cancer.
That's, I mean, I guess that's good. Better than all of them, of course.
But anyways, the D's are hot on that show. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. Nice. Hey, at least you played Scorn. Oh, God. Scorn.
I intended to play Scorn, but I
Don't.
did not play Scorn, and then I heard that it is really not a good idea to play Scorn.
It was so
I never have.
bad. It was so boring and bad. It's barely anything you do. This is like legit a walking simulator for the most part.
Hmm.
It's
I thought there was combat in it, isn't there?
huh?
Isn't there combat in Scorn? I feel like I saw a gun
Yeah,
in the
really clunky and shit combat it has, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We didn't we did breakdown of that game on EFAP after Mauler and I did both play it. It was fun. Mauler
cool.
because
That,
Mauler actually got bugged out and then lost an hour of progress because you can't do like a restarted checkpoint thingy because it has checkpoints but no autosaves. So he had to do the whole level again. So he stopped playing the game and raided me and watched the rest with his audience on my channel because we were playing at the same time.
and you were around the same part in the game?
Yeah, at some parts we were same-ish, then he took over a bit. And then I was like an hour behind because I did a bad heal somewhere and I got flumed. But yeah, that was quite a thing. Right after that, I went on to my God of War binge for a month. So there you go.
Yeah, it's a good spot to be in. I did that about 2 years back, and it was a fun couple months. Really, it really helps you see the difference between the games too, like the little subtle mechanical differences, just based on like, oh hey, here's what happens when you don't have this spell or don't have this weapon.
Mm-hmm. But hey, now the one that's probably the most interesting to me, and for the most people in chat as well, I would say, Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
Fires of Rubicon. I have never played an Armored Core game, and I'm gonna try to hunt one down at some point because I don't even have like a concept of how it really works, that game.
I remember them being kind of dense, to be honest. Like I remember them being much more complicated to play than you'd think a game where you're piloting a big robot in a very high spectacle fight in let's say a cityscape would be, but in a way that I think a lot of people really get into, like just being very technical about at what would piloting one of these things actually, what would be the things you'd have to consider, you know?
Okay.
As opposed to just, yes, make big robot man go fast by press forward on analog stick.
Yeah, Armored Core is heavy resource and mechanic management. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, I just started
That is a
playing.
much simpler way to say what I was trying to say.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Dense is an understatement. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm not
I think
averse
I'm
to learn complicated games, so that's cool with me. I'm cool on that.
I think I'm gonna throw some on the old Steam Deck and fiddle around with them, see what I can find out.
Nice. Apparently, Armored games play like shit on emulator in general. Apparently. Hmm.
Oh, really? Shit. Ah, well, I'll tinker. I've been actually finding that, man, tinkering on the Steam Deck's emulators is you can make games that you're like, okay, well, playing this on this thing isn't happening, and then you can like turn some of the cores off on the actual, but it's only doing like single core, double core processing that are more like the consoles that it's trying to emulate, and then all of a sudden they're vertically. It was like, oh shit.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, if I ever need a
Oh
new
wait, no,
mobile
no,
thingy,
there's PS2 Armored Core games, are there not? Was that a PS3 only series? I feel like it was.
uh, not sure.
Oh, I could have sworn
I
it
actually
said.
have no idea. So you need a PS3 to play Armored Core, the old ones. I mean, I do have all the PlayStations here,
Well,
but
I
so
mean, I
that's
do
not a
have a
problem.
PS3 that will involve having to track down
Oh, there's
physical copy.
PS2 era games as well. So there you go.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
PS2 emulators work pretty well.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently, as I've seen in chat, Armored Core 2 and someone with answers is the ones you want to play, apparently.
Okay, two. If two is on PS2 or PS1, then I can definitely deal with that.
So we got Armored Core 2, and what's the other one, chat? You said another one, chat. For answer. Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that title. I remember thinking it was strange, like Armored Core
Armored
for
Core.
answer. What for answer to what?
I haven't even heard the question yet. uh, but yeah, I'm interested in those games because I always heard about them, but I never really got around to playing them. Let me have a quick look. See, I wonder. Let's have a thingy here. Armored Core 2. That is a PlayStation 2 game, by the way. Oh, good. I can get a version from Hong Kong? Why would you suggest Hong Kong? Oh, probably because I did eBay.com and it gives me everything except Germany. That makes sense. Let's make that a DE.
Xbox or PlayStation, but you need OG hardware. Shit, my original Xbox, I actually attempted to sell it, so I can't be claiming like, oh yeah, I've had this original Xbox and have cherished it forever. But yeah, I found out it didn't work. So
Uh,
even if I did not attempt to sell my Xbox, I would still think that I have OG Xbox hardware, but I don't. I have a brick which looks like one.
Armored Core Nexus for PlayStation 2. Original casing. Disc 1 is missing. Well, that's not very helpful. Armored Core 2.
Jake, I have played Wet, and Eliza Dushku is the main character of it. I believe it's Bethesda who published that. It's like a Bayonetta type game almost, but well, not really. It's like Bayonetta in that it's a sexy female action person with a sword, but it plays kind of more like almost like a Max Payne type game with like Max Payne if Max Payne also had a sword and boobs.
Okay, it looks like Armored Core 2 is not like one of these games that's like ridiculously pricey to get, so I'm probably just gonna grab a copy of that on eBay at some point. That's probably a game I'm gonna check out the coming year. There's a lot of games I'm gonna be playing. Metal, just buy a download code since it worked so well last time. Hey, listen, okay? I made a mistake. It was an honest one, okay? And then I also made Marlo do the same mistake. But that's fine. We all learn together.
Oh, it's like on like a CD key site or something like that.
So in our God of War high, I was like, man, I really want all the God of War games physically. And then I watched a random video, which was, I think, a speedrun of God of War, that mentioned the God of War Saga collection. I was like, oh shit, that exists? That's epic.
Yeah.
It's like all 5 games, like one,
Yeah.
2, 3, Chains of Olympus, and the other one.
Sparta, yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. And I immediately go like, okay, let me see what this is. Oh, it's like $40 on Amazon? Sick. And then I order it. And I tell Mutually about it. It's like, hey, look at this. It's like, this is exactly what we want. He's like, oh shit, nice. And he ordered one too. And then on the next stream, I was like, hey, yo, we got this. It's pretty cool. And then someone in chat just mentions, oh, the PSP games are just download codes. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. So
They
yeah,
are,
long story
they
short,
are-
there weren't no codes in it. And even if there would have been, they would have been expired in 2016.
That's rough. Man, mine are redeemed. So like what sucks is those are good versions of those games. Like they're 1080p, 60 FPS. Like you can play them on a big screen with a real controller, not just a
Mm.
PS. But yeah, those games are good too.
So I ended up buying the God of War Collection Volume 2, which is only the PSP games, but on PS3. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So that'd be those same versions.
Yeah, but those are physically. I have those as discs now. So yeah. Now I actually have all the games physically. Some of them double.
I have the only game that I still need a physical disc to play is Ascension. Every other one I have digital.
Ascension is the cheapest one you can get. That was the cheapest one
I,
I was able to buy. In a
it was
steel
a pain in
book,
the ass to
$20.
find my copy though. Like no, I owned it. I played it when it launched,
Oh,
but
okay.
man, I was looking everywhere for it. I was like, am I gonna have to fucking hit eBay to buy? And it's actually how I found out that you can't buy digital games on the PS3 store in Canada anymore at that point.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, you fuckers. I just want to pay you to play this game right now. Why won't you let me?
Yeah. I need to go back to Ascension. I rage quit that game.
Oh, okay. So Ascension, not the best, but the despite the kind of shitty performance, because it like I was making a joke in the video that I'd made on it that God of War games always seem like they're designed for the generation ahead of the one that they release. And
Yeah.
like Ascension is the one that's just stranded on PS3, but the last fight in that game against the Kraken is some of the craziest visual shit I have seen in any video
Oh,
game,
I didn't even
which is
get
crazy
there.
to be
I
saying about a PS3 game.
I rage quit at the Trial of Archimedes
Yeah, that's not a bad spot. Uh, I know exactly where you're
because it
talking
was
about.
like, this
Fighting
is
is all hell.
this is a
That is the hardest part of the game by
th-
far, though.
yeah, but
And
it is a hard that is very frustrating.
yeah, it
Because
is a pain.
I remember I had one skill where I could actually cheese most of the enemies with, and even with that, I still kept dying and just kept getting reset. And it's like,
Yeah, no,
and another
there's
fight, and another. It's
huge
like, oh
amount
my
of
god, make it end.
I think I found that because they have those the enemies which switch their elements, right? So you gotta like
Mm-hmm.
you can't damage them if your blades are like in one color configuration or the same one that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they turn blue and then like the I don't know whatever it is the ice blade that you get because yeah, Ascension's the one where you just have four different modes for the blades of chaos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that was the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I remember that being the thing that made that the trial frustrating because I'm just like, fuck, just let me damage this guy. God damn it. I'm
Yeah.
at like the end of my combo and then he just switches modes and it's like, oh yeah, now you're immune to this. Okay, cool. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
really annoying.
aggravating. You're just like, I
But
hate not being able to.
my ego has caught up with me because now it's the only one I haven't finished of the
Yeah,
bunch. So
and it is
whenever
honestly.
there's free time in the coming year, I'm gonna go back to Ascension and I have to finish it. I can't let that one stand.
Well, I mean, like again, it is you gotta take it with a grain of salt that it's a 1080p 30 FPS game on PS3,
Mm,
but that and not the actual fight itself, but the sort of quick time event, crazy cinematic sequence thing, like it made in the real time engine though, so like that's why I say it's like actually quite impressive. It's just like the scope and scale of Kratos fighting this Kraken is really good, and I was like, oh wow. I'm
oh, okay.
actually like kind of getting blown away by a PlayStation 3 game that I'm playing in 2020. So I was playing it that I was like, that's pretty cool. Gotta hand it to them for that.
Nice. But yeah, Armored Core. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like there's a bunch of scavenging going on. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I
Is
have
the
like no base of reference for these games, so
Also, I mean, this is again like this was the other CGI trailer that I kind of gave this one a pass because I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you're saying Armored Core is coming back and that it actually is From Software that's making it and modern From Software too, which is kind of cool, and I'm interested to see what they'll do.
yeah, pretty much. It looks really cool. I mean, I'm all for Big Macs, Big Macs, McDonald's, uh, Big.
But when you're German and you're trying to talk about big robots, but people keep giving you hamburgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you know,
I want Big Macs.
I want
Like, yeah,
Big Macs.
Andrew,
Ah,
no, guys.
it's like no, you don't understand. Big Macs. It's like, oh, another one. Okay, here you go. It's like, no, stop it. But yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, look forward to it. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, now
From
that
software has an automatic curiosity for me. And I always understand there's a possibility I could get Dark Souls 2'd. But yeah, they have my curiosity and my attention.
pretty much. Metal, have you or Mark ever played the 2012 game Inversion? That game where you toy with gravity and stuff?
I have
Doesn't
not.
ring a bell. No, no. I'm
Is it
sorry.
like a side scroller, or is it a first person game, like a 3D exploring? Like, because I mean, being able to invert gravity has very different implications on a 2D plane than in 3D. But I'm
Let's
interested though.
see.
Like
Inversion.
the gravity gun is the best weapon of all time. Or not a weapon. Weapon, calling it a weapon is weird.
So I'm looking at some pictures on Goggle, but no, that does not ring any bells. No, I don't think. No, I don't think I've even ever seen that game. 3D shooting game with gravity controlling mechanics.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I kind of want to check that out now.
Right, but yeah, Armored Core. Interesting stuff. And that's all the trailers I had I have looked at.
Well, I guess there was also the last one of the night was Final Fantasy 16, but I guess
Uh,
if you're not a Final Fantasy person, then that you probably wouldn't care about. Which is it's actually why I found that to be a funny one for them to like end the show with. So I'm like, I was like, you're going with like something that as much as like Final Fantasy is a big brand and it's a big series, it's like is this something that everyone watching this show is going to care about, especially when it's a PlayStation exclusive Final Fantasy game? I was like, huh, it
I
seemed like a
mean,
bit of a strange thing to be like, and now the trailer you've all been waiting for.
Final Fantasy 16. I haven't looked at a trailer, but I heard it's pretty cool. At least Whirlpool said it's pretty
Oh yeah,
cool.
no,
Uh,
at least I was planning to just wait for it on on Steam, but it looked interesting enough, and it's coming out at a time like it's coming out in June, this June, so it's soon enough that I'm like, I might actually play this on PS5. And
okay. Apparently, that's a more action-based game this time. Like, is it
yeah,
not? Is it
it,
not?
it seems sort of more along the lines of 15 from a gameplay standpoint, which may not be what everyone wants to hear. And as a person who likes 15, I understand that criticism. But yeah, it's the first
Sheesh.
M-rated one in the mainline series, I believe. So
Oh, okay, interesting.
too, and seems like you can kind of turn into Ifrit, who's like one of the summons, and
Yeah, yeah,
it looked all right. It's got a and like they said that they're going to be tackling some really like kind of adult themes in it, like drug abuse and rape and like, all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect to see in a Final Fantasy game necessarily. Which this might be the edgy bro one,
yeah.
but
Oh,
it's also being directed, I think, by the guy who does Final Fantasy 14, who's like beloved and like people like he was at the awards too. And, Naoka Yoshida, I think is Yoshi P. People call him,
mm.
and yeah, so this is the first like single player Final Fantasy game that he's making after he did all the crazy good stuff to the multiplayer one. So
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
this guy is shot sort of deal. I think that's most of the interest, I believe.
I see. Yeah. I mean, looks pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. In 2023. And you can pet the doggo, as Swellpool said already, so that's already pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably check it out. It looks pretty cool. Hey, I'm happy to talk about more gaming stuff in 2023. It wasn't too much I was super interested in this year, so 2023 looks pretty healthy in terms of games that look interesting. They might all be shit, so we'll see.
Callisto Protocol is definitely the one that like ruined my defense of 2022 as a year for gaming because it was
Yeah,
like
that was a
it
letdown.
wasn't a dense year, but we got Elden Ring and some pretty cool games like Roller Drome. I don't know if you played that, but
No.
it's Tony Hawk with guns.
Oh.
It's amazing. Like it's actually like tons of fun. You're on rollerblades, like it's not actually skateboarding, but
Yeah.
Oh god, I gotta like explain this to you. So basically, the levels and the goals and objectives, kind of the same way I was talking about with Death Stranding, are laid out exactly the same as like an old school Tony Hawk game, where it's you have objectives that you can get, like hey, get this many points, kill this
Sure,
many
sure.
enemies, pick
I,
up
I
this many of the
I also remember the good old days of PlayStation
yeah.
1.
It's like that, and eventually the first few levels you unlock just by getting to the end of them, and
Hmm.
then after that, it's like you have to have a certain number of goals that you can pick up from any level, and you can't fall from doing tricks, but you can die from enemy damage.
Oh,
So
okay.
the trick system here's the beauty of it, and this was a stroke of genius on whoever thought about this for design. You reload by doing tricks.
Oh, okay.
So you're
Oh
incentivized
no,
to do
my ammo
tricks.
is empty. Quick, do a
Yeah,
kickflip.
I guess I better do some sick shit on this ramp right here, or do some like grind these rails because if I don't, I'm gonna die. And and every time you kill enemies, it heals you too. So it's like
That sounds pretty
they
fun.
they hit a really good mix of incentives for gameplay type in this game. Oh, and Kevin Moga, I don't have that kind of time. It's a really tough thing to explain, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's good. I would say that
You had.
I ended up liking what they did with it,
Mm.
but I still think that honestly, I think that would have been widely regarded as a very good Japanese role-playing game if it just wasn't called Final Fantasy 15. Like I
It's
honestly think
funny.
that was the biggest
I
mistake.
played a couple of hours in that game. Probably like 24, 30 or something, and just did all the side stuff. And the reason I actually did play it, I had a friendo over again, and I guess some friendos where we just hang out, would drink and eat, and then we're just playing games. And this was one of the sessions where everyone picked a game. We were just flapping down on the couch and just playing the games while getting drunk. And I played Final Fantasy 15 the whole time, just driving around, getting all the shit. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm having fun, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like Final Fantasy 15's it's a game that has a style to it. I actually, as much as this will seem really incongruous, because my favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 6. It's the last Super Nintendo one. It released in North America originally as Final Fantasy 3. I think it has a great story that is to this day one of the best ones told in any game, I think. And granted, it's it's a Final Fantasy game, so it's
Hmm.
anime bullshit to a good segment of the gaming populace, and I understand that, but it is my favorite of those games.
Wait, which one was that? 6 slash
Yes,
3?
six has a huge cast. Like there's a
Right.
ton of characters in six, and they all kind of get enough to do. But what I really kind of like about the way that story is told is there's not really a main character. So it does
Yeah.
actually a pretty good job of bouncing between all of them as protagonists. Not equally, like some people get more shine than others, but
Mm.
I thought that that was pretty good. But what I really thought was neat about 15 is it really is just focused on like it's four friends or it's more three friends of one guy who aren't even necessarily friends with each other. Then like they kind of don't even really like each other entirely, and that's one of the kind of interesting things you get if you do a lot of the character interactions in that game. But at the same time, it's like it's more like one of the Yakuza games, really, like from a
Mm.
reason why you would want to play it. Like it's not so much the big overarching story as it is the little character things and the weird activities you can do and I get that that's a strange thing to have as like a mainline Final Fantasy game. I'm just in a weird position because I'm like I'm a Final Fantasy fan who doesn't really think that that's a good Final Fantasy game, but I did like
Ah,
that
gotcha.
game and enjoyed it for some other reasons, and I did get a lot of smiles out of the nods to Final Fantasy that are in there. It's like there's some pretty direct references to Final Fantasy VI towards the end of that game, for example. And granted, that's it's very much a member berry. It's like, oh, it's like in Final Fantasy VI. I played this. But it's I can't deny that it's like yeah, but I had fun with it. If you talked to me at the time, I would have been like, yeah, I'm having a good time with this
Yeah,
game.
fair
I'm
enough.
really liking it. So
What was the skateboard game called?
Roller Drome,
Roller Drone.
Drome. It's got kind of a like Jet Set Radio future graphic style to it too.
No. Oh, okay. That's another game I never played. Uh,
I think it has a story as well. I just didn't. I kind of skipped past the story.
I just want to shoot people.
And I'm not for fault of the story. It's just because I mean it's kind of a not Blade Runner, Running Man type situation.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get back into the gameplay every time I was playing it, which
Yeah,
is
I get it.
it's a compliment that I didn't care
Uh,
about that story.
have you and Mark ever played a Midnight Club game? Sunset Overdrive, Jet Set Radio? Oh, there we go. Just just talked about it.
Yes.
Postal
Yes.
2 or Postal 4? See, with the Postal games, I played those.
Yes, 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 and no, actually. But Sunset Overdrive I didn't finish, and Midnight Club I've only fiddled around with a bit of them. But Jet Set Radio I've played both of them entirely, and Postal, the only one I actually own, I believe, or the only one that I've actually played is the newest one that's kind of like a boomer shooter version of it. Like,
Oh, that's the one I haven't checked out yet. I have the one that came out before that. No Regrets. I think that's 4. I got that when it was like early access for the lulz at some point. Because I was like, I want to do some Postal stuff. But yeah.
I just get that spin up not because I'm not buying this because I'm necessarily a Postal fan. I don't have anything against it. I just had never played one of them. I was just like,
Mm,
this one though just seems like it's really up my alley. Like I really love kind of like old school first person shooter games. So
yeah, I mean it's not a boomer shooter at all normally. It's like the super crazy offensive game, especially Postal 2 is like legendary for that. Where you can go around just shoot people in the city and they go like and then you can pee on them and they start puking or they twitch around when you start tasering them. Or the most famous one where you just put a cat in front on the front of your gun as a silencer and then the cat just but the cat doesn't die immediately. It just walks away the first couple of shots. It's so dumb. It's so dumb and funny.
I guess it has a health bar too.
Yeah. It's daily tasks that spiral out of control. Yeah, you just go it's like, oh, I need to buy some milk today, and then it's just a shootout or something.
That's a pretty funny premise.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's legendary for being so offensive.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's one of those things that I wouldn't say I've avoided it for any particular reason. I mean, hey, when one came out that like the trailers and things really spoke to me, I bought it. Like, so I haven't avoided it or anything, but
yeah.
that's probably the best pitch I've gotten for it yet. I'm just like, the cat silencer, I think, is what did it for me. And the fact that it doesn't die right away, but it
Yeah,
does
you
eventually
need to
die.
shoot a couple of times before it
I think
dies.
that's even less funny if it never dies, though. Like the fact that it's like, oh no, it dies. Like they understand that this is the thing that will kill it. They just, they give it a couple freebies.
Yeah, it has
Why
a
not?
couple of hits.
I
But yeah.
miss
Shut up, YouTube. Yeah. What else was there? Well, there were some normal movie trailers that came out. Was that last week? Yeah, exactly 7 days ago. The
Oh, I think
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
which I did see that trailer. I feel like there was, say the other ones because there was one that I meant to watch for this show and I know I didn't get around to it.
I don't even remember what I wrote.
I might
Let's
be,
see.
I might be scot-free on
Oh,
this.
maybe the Guardians trailer. Because I've written down Indiana
Yeah, Guardians
Jones,
I've seen. So
Guardians, and then I said another one I forgot about.
see that's the one I forgot too.
Might have been The Last of Us, but I don't really care that much about Last of
Oh,
Us.
okay.
So,
Oh
but
yeah, that actually came out while we were on EFAP, and I shared it just because if you guys wanted to check it out or something. But
yeah.
yeah, I've seen that one as well. So I don't think that was it though. I think there was another. Oh, you know what it was? It was Ant-Man.
Oh, I think I
I
watched a
didn't end
trailer
up
when that
watching the
came
trailer.
out. Whatever. Quantum Zone, Kang. That's it. I just don't give a shit. Marvel
I
has
do,
destroyed my
in
interest so
fairness, I do give a
thoroughly.
shit about Guardians 3 still somehow
Yeah,
because
Guardians is like the only one I give a shit about.
but at the same time I thought I was gonna go see Thor Love and Thunder because of the Guardians and
Yeah.
I can't do it. I was like I feel like this movie's gonna be really bad. And also that I really got the vibe that they were only gonna be in it for like the first 5 minutes and then that'd be that.
Yeah,
Silent.
that's pretty much it. But yeah, Thor Love and Thunder was cringe.
Oh my god.
But yeah, what is there to say about Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny?
Well, I
Indy
mean
is old, and
and
it's
not
like, oh, I want to go adventure again, but those times are over. And then this one guy says, maybe it's not. And then I guess there's flashback scenes because there's a scene of a young Indy. And we got I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. There's like a car chase scene and they kick the car away at some point or something. It's so...
I thought that the chase scene and in particular the horse was like just some of the worst special effects I'd ever seen in like in a trailer that also had like nearly perfect early 90s Harrison Ford all of a sudden. So I'm
Yeah.
like man, what's going on with the visual effects industry right now?
They're just in pain. They're just begging
Yeah,
for
like
time. It's like,
some of
stop
them have
telling us things a
tons of
week in advance.
unbelievable magic, and then it's like other aspects of the same project. It's like, oh yeah, but we also need him on a horse, and
Yeah.
he's old, so
The leaks are true. What were the leaks? I didn't know. I didn't even know that fucking movie is coming out. I was just like, okay. Oh yeah, the trailer also has the classic slow piano thingy-majingies. I don't
don't you
know.
remember this theme music
I do remember the theme music.
from this old film that you used to really love?
Time travel? Wait, where did you get time travel from that trailer?
Well, it's like, is young Indiana Jones a flashback, like right here, or is that where like how they go? Are they there? Are they there in the present timeline of the movie, or is that a flashback?
I mean,
'Cause
why would he be young if they travel back in time? He would be the same age, but in this
Well,
time.
maybe okay, but then maybe you have young Indiana Jones teaming up with old man Indiana
I mean,
Jones.
yeah, that could be, sure. But I mean, nothing really gives me an indication of time travel.
I think it's the dial of destiny and the fact that there's all these flashback slash possible time travel
Yeah.
sequences. And the fact that it's
Young
Indiana Jones, so there's going to be some supernatural shit of some kind.
uh young Indy dies and old Indy fades away. Lady replaces him. How do you know this?
Oh, is that? Oh my God, is that actually the leak?
I mean, maybe it is. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get I don't know if that's a thing that happens in the trailer, which it doesn't. So I don't know.
Well, I know that doesn't happen in the trailer, but I mean, as much as like, I mean, I try not to be too black pilled on the like movies are getting too woke stuff because I just don't think that's a what would be the word for it? I
Yeah.
don't think it's a productive angle for criticism because
No.
Arcane is usually the example I go to because I'm like from like at a bird's eye view, Arcane is you could easily and accurately describe it as a show about a side shaved pink haired lesbian who's a really tough fist fighter, and I'm like, well, yes, although it's good. So I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, but they did it in a way that didn't bother me and still told a good story. So I, I sort of don't care. Like if something you could describe Arcane as woke, and yeah, but
hmm
I mean, if it's good, that's okay. So I wouldn't even necessarily write something off specifically for that, but that Indiana Jones like flat out being replaced in the past by
that sounds kind of
like a
weird.
strong female character is like Jesus, Kathleen.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
going hard on
I've
this
seen
though.
She-Hulk. I've seen the worst of it, so sure, I can
This is
believe that happens.
so like this is the Star Wars people making this one.
Oh, fuckle. See, James just sent me the.
Which like when James says that leak, I'm like, oh, that
Let's see.
sounds ridiculous. Like that sounds like woke script parody. Like like the kind of thing that I don't know,
Let's see.
geeks gamers making a script like a parody script. But like the
Okay.
if it's Kathleen Kennedy's company,
Okay, so someone
I could actually
put this on Reddit from 4chan, a plot leak question mark.
Ty does bring up a good point, though. James Mangold is directing it, and he is a pretty good director.
Oh, there you go.
He's made some mediocre movies too, though. Like the Wolverine was not fantastic.
Let's see.
It
So apparently there were
next.
test screenings for Indiana Jones 5. And apparently whoever posted the original post was in one. Marion appears towards the beginning of the movie. Oh yeah, if you don't want to hear the leaks, come back in like 10 minutes or whatever. I don't know.
This one. They lost me a Crystal Skull on Indy. I've been black.
I mean, I've never had a huge investment in Indiana Jones, so I legit don't really give a shit.
Oh, I mean, I did. I love those movies growing up. Short Round was like my hero. I was so happy to see him in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was like, back. He's back, and he's still awesome.
Noise. Marion appears towards the beginning of the movie and encourages Indy to come out of retirement for one last adventure. Mutt is mentioned but not seen in the scene. Sala appears for one scene. See him wearing a fez on the right of the pic. Blah blah. We're just playing
Babies with Mia Goth. He's fine.
Okay.
Shut up.
Is playing Helena Brody, the granddaughter of Marcus Brody. Is quite possibly one of the most annoying characters put on screen. Okay. Wouldn't be surprised if she wrote her own lines. She constantly lectures Indy about his privilege. Oh, good. Harrison looks like he doesn't want to be there the entire movie. That seems like Harrison Ford in almost everything he's in these days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen is playing a younger version of Toad from the first film, and he does a decent job. Antonio Banderas is probably the best part of this movie. Probably the only reason. Blah blah blah. The main MacGuffin is a golden clock that the key in ancient time that's the key to an ancient time portal. A group of neo-Nazis is trying to track it down before Indy can. First they go to ancient Rome for a bit, then they go back and end up in 1933.
Actual neo-Nazis are the villain in the movie. Are you kidding?
A significant chunk of the movie is set in 1933, and the main trio is old Indy, Helena, and younger Indy. Oh, okay. In my screening, the movie ends with young Indy sacrificing himself to save Helena, causing old Indy to fade away, like Marty does in Back to the Future. Helena picks up his hat, and the movie ends with a montage of her in iconic Indiana Jones scenes set to the John Williams score.
Oh, no chance. Okay, that's where they lost me. I don't believe this is real.
The movie also had a Helena will return thing at the end, sort of like what Marvel movies do. That sounds like a fucking joke.
Yeah, no, that can't. That's too far. Like, honestly, it's a testament to Lucasfilm these days that I kind of believed it up until that point.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't know. It's bad, but I don't know. I think they might actually do that. But like that.
I mean, they've done crazier shit. So.
Like they flat out be like, yeah, no, we're flat out being like, yeah, these movies never fucking happened.
Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, okay, Robot. To be fair, I'm not saying it's impossible. That's the part that I stopped believing today.
Yeah.
At no point am I like, there's no reality in which that happens. See, look, you're upsetting the puppies.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm.
I like how the first comment is the same thing I said. Harrison looks like he doesn't want to be there the entire movie. That seems to be his default setting nowadays.
I mean, yeah, that's for a while. Oh my god, puppies.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it for coverage, because I'm a whore for the views.
That almost seems like it's bad enough that I should watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a random leak, but hey, they've been.
Skywalker did follow the leaks pretty closely. That is true, and it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, we've had pretty accurate leaks before, so yeah. But yeah, that's that. That's interesting. Those leaks. So yeah. Oh yeah, and at the end you get like the scene where everyone is pulling a gun on him. Remember that scene? That really fun scene? That was
bothered me.
Really cool.
Like, this scene in this trailer. Oh my god, I was so angry.
It's like, oh no, they all have guns, and then he just ducks and nobody hits him, which is also retarded.
Yeah, no one aims down.
He just goes down
and then shoot him.
It's so stupid.
Actually, you flat out know he only has a whip.
Yeah.
Like he hid from the guns. He would have just drawn his own gun, or maybe not. He probably would have. Yeah. It's such a ridiculous scenario. I can't even start applying logic to it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably. I mean, it already looks like a trash fire by itself. But if those leaks are true, it's like Jesus Christ. Let's just retcon all of the movies.
It feels like they just didn't shoot that in a room that was big enough to have it make sense.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Ever saw the movie 2008 Speed Racer or iRobot? I saw iRobot back when it came out.
I remember liking iRobot.
I only remember the scene where Will Smith says, "I'm allergic to bullshit." That's just a funny line. I don't recall that movie a lot or at all, really. Oh God.
I remember
And
Alan Tudyk was the main robot.
Speed Racer, I haven't seen. No, I don't think I've seen that one.
I did. It's very bad.
Okay. Will Smith used to be cool. Oh yeah, now he just punches people in award shows.
I did not like Speed Racer. I thought it was a very strange film that I can't even put my finger on what I might say is good about it, except for maybe like one fight scene that happens towards the end.
No.
Like, oh man, I'm having flashbacks to the kid in Speed Racer. Oh my god. Oh, sorry, I need a minute.
That's fine. It's fine. You just breathe. Yeah, just some random things that just pop into my mind right now. There was a clip from the Mario Bros. Movie. I mean, I'm pretty much on board with what Fringy said when I talked about it with him. It all looks really, really cool. But as soon as they start talking, I don't want to watch anymore. It's just not appealing to me at all.
It's gonna live or die on its script and its story. If it's funny and the story is like heartwarming, it might end up being really good. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh god, the puppies.
Jeebus.
Okay, there we go. Got her.
Oh,
That one's puppy. Jojo. Okay. Are you finished? Okay, I think she's finished.
okay, cool.
Did you hear that sneeze, or did I? I think I took off my push to talk. She
No, I
sneezed.
didn't hear the sneeze, no.
That would have actually been perfect. It was really cute.
Are you done?
And then the second I let go of her snout, she's like,
But yeah, it's I don't know, it looks really, really good. I'm gonna be watching it for sure. But I don't know.
Instagram.com/MarcTheCyborg if you want to see the dogs.
Oh well, there you go.
I basically run a puppy Instagram, and it's not intentional. It's just that's what ends up happening. There's also a few pictures of X-Ray Girl. You know, people find her attractive.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
I'm in there a few times too, but no.
Ew. No, I don't want to watch anymore.
You're not gay if you look at me. You're just bi.
Oh, I thought that's how that works. Okay. Let's see. I found that I enjoyed some bits of the like the car stuff and the Royalton speech, but the kid, go away! You spoiled the kiss. I guess that's Speed Racer. Then,
Oh yeah. To be fair, it's been a long time since I've seen it, so maybe I'm forgetting some of the good aspects of it. But I remember thinking, well, I'm never watching that movie again.
well, there might be a reason for that. Right. There was also the Last of Us trailer. I mean, I don't particularly care for the Last of Us anyway. But it was made by the people that made Chernobyl, so
I mean,
actually might be pretty good.
I've got to give a bit of charitability to the Last of Us TV show. I'm really not a fan of Last of Us Part 2. I hate what they've done with the Part 1 video game remaster that they tried to sell as a remake and made it $70.
Oh, I heard about that. It's so scummy.
I will say though, the show looks about as good as the show for The Last of Us could look.
Okay.
Take that as you would. So I mean, if you're like, well, I fucking hate The Last of Us, then yeah, I don't think the show's gonna be what's gonna turn it around.
Yeah.
Because at the very best, it seems like it is a decently shot live action version of the cutscenes of the first game. Make of that what you will.
No.
Like if that sounds like something that you would want to watch on HBO with some decent actors for the most part. I mean, maybe not all of them. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Lyanna Mormont as Ellie. I'll have to give her a chance, but I know I don't think she fits the role from like the character Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones. Put her in The Last of Us, and I don't see it. I guess. This is what I'm
okay, I see.
I actually, honestly, Arya Stark, like the girl who plays her, I think she would have been much better.
Hmm.
And I heard she was attached to it for a while, so it kind of made me think. I was like, did they just wait too long? And they're like, okay, the one Game of Thrones chick is too old. Let's do the other one. They're both
uh,
in that shitty episode where it's all dark and they're fighting zombies. Whatever, they can fight zombies in our thing too.
yeah. But hey, I just saw that it was made by the Chernobyl people, and Chernobyl was pretty darn fantastic. So they might
Yeah.
know what they're doing. Who knows?
I mean, I'm gonna go into it as neutrally as I can, but
Yeah,
and
that's
like I have HBO Max or the Canadian equivalent of HBO Max, so I'm not spending any extra money that isn't already spent. But I mean, I only gave Rings of Power 2 episodes. Let's see how much you get at Last of Us. I don't think I'm gonna be stunned in shock and awe of how hilariously bad you are, like I was with Obi-Wan. That's why I watched all because I was just like, I don't even fucking believe this.
This can't be real.
Dude, like the people making this can't think it's good. Was the only thing I was thinking that whole time. I was like whereas, well, even the Last Jedi, as bad as I think that movie is, I feel like Ryan Johnson feels like he made a good movie. I can't say that about the people behind Obi.
I just
I don't
don't
believe
believe
that.
it.
I don't believe that. I was like, you really think you did a good job? No, you don't. You are up at night thinking about how your name is attached to that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of bad. Whereas I doubt Last of Us will be that kind of bad if it's bad. It'll be, that was okay. It's Walking Dead on HBO.
Oh man. Oh, funny bit that I saw today. Um, so apparently Patty Jenkins is out of Wonder Woman 3 completely. She left because the head honchos were like, "Oh, can you like come up with something in another direction? We don't really think this one is really good." And she said like, "No, you don't really get what I'm doing." And then in that email apparently that she sent back to them, she put a Wikipedia article for character arcs,
Oh,
which is
oh my.
hilarious.
Send to James Gunn?
No, not James Gunn is not involved in that, but some
Well, no, he's the one leading up the DC universe going forward. Like he's the head honcho.
yeah, he's now, but he said that the projects that were before they're not gonna touch pretty much. Just,
But isn't that the news you're talking about that they officially like canceled Wonder Woman 3? That
yeah, but
because that happened just a couple days
it,
ago,
it
right?
is actually not canceled. She walked out, and now it's on hold because
Oh,
they don't
okay.
have
Maybe
a version they
I understand
like.
well enough then. I must have just been
Yeah. Oh, James
Twitter.
just sent me the picture, so that's yeah. Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi told Patty Jenkins they didn't think her treatment for Wonder Woman 3 was the right direction. Jenkins told them they didn't understand what she was trying to do and linked to Wikipedia definition of character arc.
So
Yeah,
I guess Wonder Woman 3 was going to be her rapist redemption arc.
yeah. It's funny
How
because
did how does she atone for her like basically a long-term date raping of
yeah,
an unknown of a possible family man.
yeah. It's yeah. I know it's the meme that was on EFAB on the EFAB Discord, James. I know, but that's what it says in the article as well. And it's really funny. Jay actually put a tweet below it saying, "A shame that no one sent her a definition of the word." No, a Wikipedia article for sexual assault. It's like the first tweet I saw below. It was really great. Uh, but yeah, she's out of there. So I just found it funny that of all people, after what we got with Wonder Woman, it's like character arcs. You don't even know what that means. Like maybe
You
don't.
just you can't help but think though, if you're Patty Jenkins, are you not a little bit worried that it's like, hey, maybe I had a whole Disney Plus show about Rogue Squadron that got canceled and I got kicked off that. And now like I had my next thing going with DC that's like where I made my name as like a really big name director, like a big tentpole action movies.
Mm,
And now I'm telling them to fuck out. Like at what point is she like, wait, am I? Am I just making indie movies now?
Am I in the wrong? No, it's the other ones who are wrong.
Like, I mean, she must be thinking, wait, hold on. Everyone seems to think I suck. Maybe I'm not as good at making this like popcorn adventure stuff as I think I am.
Yeah,
Because I mean, she did. I think isn't she the one who directed Monster, the Charlize Theron?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I, I'm pretty sure that was like her kind of big claim to fame. It's why she like got the kind of big role directing Wonder Woman. Although I might be crossing those wires with something else. But oh yeah, and then she has that Cleopatra movie, Cartoon Man's right.
Mm.
But that yeah, it kind of makes me think. It's like, like Patty, maybe you would have been better at making like grittier dramas that are more focused on being serious than focused on being whimsical and fun. Like perhaps you're not fantastic at that after all.
Yeah, maybe you're just shit. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
uh, Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, I found that very funny when I saw that today. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what James Gunn does to DC though.
Yeah.
Especially if he's like canceling stuff and being like, yeah, no, we're totally revising all of our plans going forward. Like Black Adam 2 is probably not happening, even though they reintroduced Henry Cavill in a Black Adam movie that features his wife, which
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that. Did you watch Peacemaker at all?
No, I haven't watched that at all. No.
Okay, so there's a character called Harcourt, who's this blonde woman, and she's James Gunn's wife in real life,
Oh, okay.
and she's in Black Adam. And I actually, it was one of the parts of Black Adam that I was like, oh, okay, well at least they're kind of connecting this to the world in a way that makes a bit of sense, because Harcourt was like an agent who worked for Amanda Waller. That's like you've seen the fucking stupid DC movies, and yeah, like I thought that was a nice little link that they did there. So when I heard that James Gunn was taking over, I was like, oh, okay, so maybe that's kind of why Harcourt was in Black Adam, because it's like, hey, guess what? We're kind of moving in to DC and we're doing things differently. By the way, here's Henry Cavill. And I think
Okay.
that's kind of people's takeaway from the movie. They're like, it was okay, I guess. I don't know, it was kind of shitty, but Henry Cavill's all right. And it was nice to see Pierce Brosnan. Like that's honestly what everyone felt about the movie. It's like seeing
Mm.
Pierce Brosnan in a movie again was nice. And also
Yay.
there at the end, The Rock was The Rock. There were things that happened. And actually similar to Speed Racer, really, really cringy and annoying kid.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
Just
Although I
can't
guess I
help
was
themselves.
short round, so I mean maybe I wanted to talk. But I loved short round. I don't know. I was that age at the time, maybe that's why.
Hmm. Oh. Oh man. Well, I don't have any trailers to talk about anymore. So
Mhm. I mean, James, do you want to talk about Callisto Protocol? Although I guess we kind of did at the beginning. Although I mean, it's late for you if you want to get to sleep. I totally understand. It's only 6 p.m. here, or 6:45.
it's 1 a.m. almost. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
tired or anything. I mean, what's going
I'm
on?
just if you're out of topics and you want to go to sleep, I don't want to be the one to be like, no, let's talk about Callisto Protocol, a game which Metal hasn't played.
I mean,
But
if you just want to go through it, I guess. I mean, I have nothing to say about the game because I haven't played it.
there's no point. I'll talk
So,
about it anytime you go here. That's actually a good segue for me to plug my stuff. If you guys, I stream on Rumble regularly. I try to do 100 hours a month that I'm doing
oh,
up until the end of February. So I'm pretty much playing most of the games that I play outside of the ones I fiddle around with on my Steam Deck at work. I mean, on my breaks at work. And
hmm.
yeah, and that's I'll tell you, I'll talk about any game. I just finished Dead Space 2. I was gonna start Dead Space 3, and
Oh,
my whole Callisto Protocol playthrough is there, so you can see me playing the worst Dead Space like I have ever played in my life, or worst survival horror game really in a lot of ways. Maybe not, I don't know. I
yeah.
played some shitty ones on PS1, but anyways, and then Dead Space 2, which is one of the best. And then I'm gonna start Dead Space 3 for the first time, and I hear that's pretty shitty, so maybe I'll play one that turns out to just be mediocre.
Mm.
But
Well,
find out next time.
if you give me that link to that stream, I'm gonna throw it in the comment flisms because I don't have that link.
Hold on one sec.
You have the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League trailer with Kevin Conroy's Batman. Was that a thing that came out as well? I don't think I've seen that.
Oh yeah. They just had him deliver the "I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman." And I actually don't even know if that was from that game or if they just pulled it from Batman the Animated Series. I believe either, but apparently that's going to be his last performance. Which honestly, I was sort of bothered by them bringing up at a Game Awards trailer for the Suicide Squad's next game. Like I was like, I don't know, man. You really got to be like, by the way, rest in peace, Kevin. He's in this game.
Yeah. So yeah, don't play Callisto Protocol, I think is the solution.
That is the solution. I can't seem to get my thing to get. Do I have a wrench on your channel? I don't mean to seem like I'm asking for one. I just meant Jojo, stop. I just meant could I type the link directly?
If you just put it in the Discord, I just throw it in there. No problemo. If YouTube allows that, YouTube is weird with links sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm stupid. I was typing with the wrong keyboard. I have two computers. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what was my computer doing? But I'm just stupid. And my dog is freaking me out. Hey, Jojo,
yeah, we can hear it. Is there a metal Discord? No, I don't have one. I just can't be arsed to run one. Or build one rather as well. I probably should make one at some point. There you go.
There you go. And then I'm also just on YouTube.
That's the Roomble Fleams.
I'm easy to find on YouTube if you.
That link is in the description already because that's the one I had.
Rumble is where you'll find me talking live. Oh my God, Jojo.
Jesus.
What was really hilarious about that is that dog was out of sight at that time, jumped up onto the couch in a single bound, and this is a 4-pound dog, and just like was on my lap and just barked directly into the microphone. I was like, did you fucking plan that? I'm almost kind of impressed, although I'm sorry, everybody. That's been terrible. I really do apologize.
But yeah, all links are down below. There. Yeah. But would you like a pancake? Hey, pancakes are great.
Oh, they are.
I do like pancakes.
They are my go-to breakfast pastry.
Oh.
Pastry? Or, I don't know, baked good. I'd take it over a waffle or French toast is what I'm saying. Unless it's a really good waffle.
All right, let's see. I think there were some super chats throughout. I got the membership fleams while they came in, so I don't miss them. We got here 10 buckaroos from Cicada. Thank you. Didn't win a Steam Deck. 0 out of 10. Oh yeah, I guess if you watched the Game Awards on Steam, they gave away a Steam Deck.
Oh, you had to be watching it on Steam? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I thought I just searched for the thing.
I don't know how it went, like for every 10 minutes or whatever, they gave one out or something. I don't know. But yeah, maybe someone got lucky. That's neat.
I strongly recommend purchasing one if you have the disposable income to do so.
Oh, it was every minute even. Okay, so that's like, how long were the awards? 4 hours? 2 hours?
Yeah, 4 hours. So that's a shitload of Steam Decks. They really want to get that thing out there.
Probably
which also
240 plus now.
Oh man, if they've got that kind of inventory though, they easily could push it out to stores. But I think they're maybe being smart by being like, yeah, no, you want to buy it, just make a Steam account. You're gonna need one to use it anyways, and just buy it from us, ship it right to you. Yeah. We'll get scalped.
Hyperbolic Ninja, 5 buckaroos. Thank you very much. Mark, go fight Gna and upload it to YouTube, please. Oh god, Gna on Give Me God of War. Oof.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, I probably have to get back into the game and like really. You know what I'll do? If you do want to see me do that, is when it comes out on Steam, like God of War Ragnarok is one I'm very comfortable double dipping on. I will play it. Maybe I'll play it on Give Me God of War again because I think I can do it. I don't know. I think once I got the spear in that game, my game really came together. Like all my strategies was like, oh, this actually really was the missing piece.
Yeah, spear
Because
is awesome.
now I'm not fucked when I'm far away from shit. Like that really was starting to be a problem when I was fighting like dragons and stuff. So I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
But
and I guess then
yeah.
you can interrupt their leveling up thing as well.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, and it's not and that's another thing. It's just having another option to interrupt the level up mechanic from further away is very good. But with the level up thing, it's almost more the speed that you react with more so than the range. So,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting to fiddle around with though. If you haven't played on Give Me God of War, and especially if it's a game that you really, really love, I think even the first one, I think you'll like it. It will piss you off at first, and it's definitely going to make you have to prioritize your stats over your fashion
Oh,
because
yeah.
yeah, the gear your gear score really matters because it'll effectively change an enemy health bar color by a full level.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
orange will go to purple, purple will go to red, and if they then level up mid fight, they go up another level. So
Mm,
if you're fighting purple barred enemies going in, they're capable of basically becoming invincible. Like
awesome.
I was like, oh, this is bad.
Where you could feel that in No Mercy as well already. You really wanted
Well,
to stay on
I,
top on those levels.
I'm under the impression that I think No Mercy and Give Me God of War are the same with the exception of the level up
Yeah, it
mechanic, I
might
believe.
be. Might be.
So, but it's an interesting mechanic, and what I quite like about it is it demands something from me that is not demanded on any other difficulty level, and I like that it makes me wonder how people would feel about this game if it were the only option. Like it's the difficulty level question, where
Mm.
it's like if it was only Give Me God of War, would this game be Oh, I think it would definitely be a less pleasant narrative experience. Although at the same time, every time you'd get to a cinematic, you'd really feel like you earned it.
I was like, oh, I can
You'd be
relax.
like, oh, I'm so happy every time I got to
Yeah, I
cinematics.
bet.
So just like, oh man, I'm in for some really good acting, some good music.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be here for a little while. It's why it actually really pissed me off in that game every time I like had to start pressing X all of a sudden. I was like, oh no. I was enjoying just watching this movie that was my reward for beating
Yeah,
that thing.
good stuff.
But yeah, I had a great time with that game though. I think
Hell
it's
yeah.
definitely worth a purchase, at least if you have a PS5. I don't know what it plays like on PS4.
From what I know, it runs actually pretty good. It's not like
Yeah,
a
and I
stuttering mess or
imagine
anything.
it would. It didn't seem like it was that much crazier from a technical standpoint above the previous game.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you're like, I don't know, am I just saying that because it was running fine for me, or is like I don't know, some of the Svartalfheim areas have such long sight lines that it tanks the frame rate, but it's good to hear that that's not the case.
Nice.
It seems like a very well optimized game too. Like I even have it running at the year or 2018 at least, running at locked 40 frames a second on Steam Deck, and it
Oh,
like no drops. And that's like it doesn't sound super impressive, but it's like you got to remember this is like a Linux tablet. It's
yeah.
kind of crazy that it's running God of War 2018 at a above a greater than 30 frame rate. And 40, not terrible, not great, but still I would prefer a locked 40 to a locked 30, and I don't
Yeah.
understand why consoles haven't done that long ago. Like they've just been like, okay, let's set 40 is the thing we go for. How about that? Because we're not going to go for 60 clearly, and we're starting to slide back to that because I almost thought that with PS5 we got to the point where it's like 60 FPS is even where consoles are shooting for as a default, but I think Nintendo's the foot in the past there. They're the ones that are like, no, 30 FPS is fine. And then
Yeah.
PlayStation,
Ugh.
well, we can make this next game look really, really pretty if you let us make it at 30. And I'm just like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. 'Cause then you're gonna make another Bloodborne and it's gonna be stuck at fucking 30
Forever.
forever.
And everyone wants the next gen version, but they're not giving it to us because they're
Yeah.
evil.
That's the thing. It's like I don't trust you, Sony.
Yeah.
I don't trust you, Sony. I don't trust you, Nintendo. Nintendo, I at least trust to make barely solid games when they do make them for the most part, but
Yeah.
I don't trust them to then let me keep the purchases of those things when new hardware comes out.
Yeah. Oh god. Good old Nintendo. But yeah. I guess that wraps that up. All the links to good old Marker Rooney is down in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
fine.
as for me, you're probably gonna see me play more games on stream. Maybe more Dwarf Fortress. That's been fun. And yeah, I guess tomorrow EFAP, the last Ragnarok EFAP. I think, I hope, because I'm trying to move on, but the game just keeps sucking me back in somehow. Uh,
Might be an arc on another YouTuber.
and yeah, next week is Avatar that comes out. I'm gonna be watching that. I snatched Fringo for that, so we're gonna be doing a forge on that probably Thursday or something because I can't do Friday. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let everybody know when that one is gonna be. But that's
I'm going to see it on Friday, and I am for anyone else who, if you guys do pop by my streams, if you want to hear what I think about it, I like Avatar, and that seems to be something that not a lot of people ever agree with me on. I don't think I would argue for its objective quality, and I mean clearly, don't even bother. I know it's basically Dances with Wolves, Blue Aliens. I get that part of it, but it's like I saw the re-release about a month ago, I guess, when it came back to like IMAX 3D theaters, and
yeah.
I don't know if it's just like the state of current blockbuster movies has just degraded to the point that there's like almost no characters that are very interesting or people with motivations that I can kind of get behind or root for. But I mean, Avatar's like it's not really that bad. Like it's I kind of enjoy like the idea of like the paraplegic guy being able to feel his toes again and not wanting to lose that but wanting to be a loyal Marine but also being like yeah but I sort of like being out there a hell of a lot more than I like being in here and I don't know thought it was all right so I'm interested to see the new one. I know that there's a very good chance it might be terrible though.
Well, there you go. I don't even remember the first one. I probably have to rewatch it this week. This week, we'll see. But yeah, that's what all the super chats as well. So there you go. We did it. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I forgot something, but no, that should be it. Just more Gorming streams, EFAP, and also the Avatar next week. I actually don't know what I'm gonna do the week after the Crimbus week. Maybe just record something offline and put something up, and then the week after I'm in Longman Land, so I don't even know what's gonna happen with those forges. I think we wanted to do some when I'm over there. Uh, yeah, we'll see. But I think we're doing good. We're doing good. But yeah, there we go. Thank you all for
Cool.
hanging out. Thanks, Mark, for hanging out. It's been fun.
Thank you for the invite, good sir.
Of course, anytime. And yeah, see you later, Chad. Check in for the FF tomorrow. We'll both be there. It's probably
Yeah.
gonna be cringe.
Oh boy.
All right, goodbye.